I prayed already.
On the signal?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, signal. Signal, you better act right tonight.
Man. Yo, it should go DJ Baby Diamond ain't tuned in to. Dang, I was about to get my U3 intro.
You always do that.
I do. I
think one day you gonna go all the way through it.
U3 radio. I've done that a couple times.
You tighten it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it down.
He's a mic expert.
That's what I do, man. Try to do something, you know.
I ain't even tried to tighten myself.
Yo, we should go DJ Baby Blue Diamond and you tune into the Where You Ask podcast.
Go ahead.
That's not even how we do it. No, but that's not even how we do our intro.
You don't want to mess with me.
I know I am. It's been a long day. I work with kids. Yo, it should go DJ Baby Blue Diamond, and we got.
It's your boy D, aka Mr. Live at 5 himself.
And it's your fella.
T1.
In his absent, and this is the Where You Ask podcast. You already know it's another day, another dollar. We are here Tuesday, November 1st. 1. And we have a special guest in the building, you know, all the way from F This Mic Could Talk, Mr. D Jones.
She said F this mic, but it's cool.
Oh, it does sound like F this mic.
F this mic could talk. That's
F
cool.
this mic.
Yeah, you know, Mr. Well, all right in the building, aka the designated caster.
AKA Mr. Gift of Gab.
Yeah, Gift of Gab. You know what I'm saying? I just want to say, you know, before we even get into it, I want to say I appreciate y'all for allowing me to, you know, pull the seat up to y'all's table, have a little dinner. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that. You know, I mean, a lot of people get real, I don't know what the word is, you know, stingy or prideful or egotistical when it comes to their productions, and for y'all allowing me to have a seat with y'all tonight is, you know, truly a blessing. I'm appreciative.
People like that for real?
Yeah. Some people don't want to bring, you know what I'm saying, certain personalities around them because they feel like, you know, it's too much. So.
But you always give us advice, so of course we gotta showcase the man that help us out.
Always bring us on your show.
You bring on the
exactly.
show.
Exactly.
It is
what it is. Exactly. And you are, I won't say teacher of the year, but put that out there in existence. Teacher of the year. But you are a teacher. How's your school year going so far?
Yeah. So yeah, it's cool. I ain't gonna lie, it's cool.
Is your classroom full?
My classroom is full. I have 125 sixth graders. And you know what I'm saying? Some of them are a little, you know, they are challenging, to say the least. You know what I'm saying? They are challenging, but I mean, honestly, for me, like I always tell people, like the kids is the easiest part.
It's the parents.
It's the parents. It's the other adults. The people who are, you know, that's what makes the job challenging. The kids is the very easy part. Your coworkers or people. Everybody want to have a say so. Everybody want to be a chief in enough Indians. You know what I'm saying? All that type of stuff. So, kids, for me, my mindset is real simple. Like, I'm not gonna let a 12-year-old kid get me that emotional. So I'm good.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
So 6th grade is a testing grade, right?
Yeah, 6th grade. Third grade and up.
Yeah, third and up.
My wife, she teaches 7th grade. It's not a testing. Maybe it's the subject.
What she teach? Oh, they don't test.
Yeah, they're not history.
Yeah, not history.
Okay, man.
Her subject, but they definitely test in 7th grade.
Okay.
So,
yeah, she was pumped about that. She said, "Yeah, I ain't got to worry about. I ain't got a testing course." So, but yeah, she's going. She's ready to be a housewife. So.
Well, I'm a teacher assistant, but
I know that's what I am.
It's like I'm a teacher assistant, but I've been subbing almost every day. So you can catch me as a substitute in 4th grade, 3rd grade, and 5th grade. And I taught lessons.
You know what?
I need that teacher pay.
About being a sub, and then I don't think I do it.
No, subbing is quite fun.
I don't think I do kids. I think other people's kids.
It low-key motivated me to go back to school. To want to go back to school and just go ahead and get that teacher's degree. Because
what you need, associates?
Huh? A bachelor?
Bachelor? You might be able to get it with associates. Now?
Charter schools. Yes. I can get a job now at a charter school.
Yeah, charter schools hire.
Yes. But not public schools.
Hire gas station clerks.
Yo, it's your favorite girl, Elena the Braider in the building. What up?
Elena.
Shout out to Elena the Braider. If you need your hair braided, go ahead, hit her up. She got all your hair braiding needs. But tonight we have a lot of
right. She does.
She do locks as well. I think that's the specialty is locks. But tonight we have a couple topics that is definitely going to touch your heart. It's going to touch your mind. Going to touch your soul. It's going to make you think. That's why we call it "This Mic is Talking" because we're definitely going to be talking about a lot of topics. Starting off with Takeoff.
Yeah.
R.I.P. it's sad to see another young black man, whether he's famous or not famous, die in our community. I just want to know your thoughts on that situation, especially people sharing the video.
Yeah.
That's crazy. People keep sharing the video. People keep sharing the pictures of him on the ground, lying there, dead.
That was my first. That's the first thing I seen about the situation. I think Quavo was holding him or something like that. So, but yeah, I mean, it sucks. It sucks. You gotta definitely be aware of your surroundings, especially as a multi-millionaire. I'm gonna say you gotta you really gotta be careful where you place yourself at. You know, like as far as like being out in public and stuff like that, because apparently that bullet wasn't even meant for him. You know, so
it was a straight bullet. Yeah.
So wrong place, wrong time type of thing. So I mean that can happen to anybody, but
it's also the people you hang around with. Because like you mentioned, they were partying with Jay Prince.
Yeah, at a bowling alley. You're supposed to be bowling, which is
not shooting dice.
Yeah, what? That's what got me like. Why are you shooting? Why are y'all shooting? Y'all multi-millionaires. I get it. Dice is dice, man. You didn't even have to be from the hood. Did y'all shoot? Did y'all ever shoot dice?
Nah, I don't really know how to do that.
No,
y'all don't know how.
You just roll them and get a 7-Eleven, right? That how it works?
I mean, yes.
I've never played dice.
It's actually a little strategy to it, but yeah, basically 7-Eleven, or you get your point, whichever point you get. If you don't roll a 7-Eleven, you roll a 5, you got a back door. You got to get a 5 before you get 7.
Oh no,
I was trying to share. I was thinking to find it. I got another.
No, I never played that.
I'm gonna have to tell y'all. They call it T-Lee. T-Lee.
Okay.
I mean, I used to be cold dice back in the day, man. My homeboy Chris Russell came to the crib one time. I stayed in Delcrest, and we shot dice for about an hour. I took all his money.
I'd be salty as peanuts. Russell. I ain't gonna lie. If I was, rolling and lost a bunch of money with some little white things with dots, it's like cubed dominoes.
It was red dice. We was at my house.
Okay, here you go. Now you got to let us know what color it was.
Home court advantage.
Now it's red dominoes.
He said, "Hey man,
blood of the lamb domino."
But it could be his home court advantage. They team red too. They red on their logo too.
Yeah, I know. I like this color.
Well, we
got a gold one too, though.
I'm gonna tell you. About our logo show.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. A real fact about this. So when me and B Ken first got to creating If This Mic Could Talk, I ain't gonna lie. I say I want to be different. I want to have some, some funky colors. Like I wanted to have like the Seahawk colors.
Yeah.
And Brian, what I'm saying, he just, I want red, black, and white. That's Jets. That's episode. I'm saying so. But anyway, doing research though, they say like the top podcasts or like the podcasts that are very popular, like basically the most popular or best color scheme to use for a podcast is red, black, and white. So once we got established and I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, cool. So
I'm happy you mentioned that. That's why I chose our colors too.
Really?
A lot of people don't realize that. Like podcasting colors is good, like you said, red, black, white, and then like for radio station, mainstream, yellow, blues, like it invoke different feelings towards people when they see those colors.
Yeah, that's how they.
That's why I chose certain colors.
That's how they promote food.
Exactly.
Even restaurants, fast food restaurants. A lot of fast food restaurants are like yellow, red.
McDonald's, Wendy's, Sonic, all that.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So one of our listeners right here has a question. Shout out to I want to say that GTZ. What is it?
GZD.
That's good.
It says, "What's the difference between shooting dice with your friends and shooting dice at the casino? You win too much
at the casino.
You win too much at the casino, then you have to watch your back from the man."
I don't think the man's gonna try to kill you though, but
they're gonna make sure they get that money.
You go to the casino to gamble.
You don't go to a bowling
alley to shoot dice.
Not only was it a bowling alley, you don't go to someone's birthday parties to go shoot dice.
I mean, so like I said, we used to shoot dice a lot. So
but that's different. But you wasn't at a bowling alley.
But
birthday party was at house parties.
We didn't do that at a birthday.
It was at house party, most likely, right?
At a house party.
That's different if it's a house party. But you're not gonna be like, I'm gonna go to D Live at 5's birthday party at the bowling alley and shoot some dice. I ain't even gonna bowl.
Well, let me say this. I say this, my bad. If I could just get my 2 pennies. I'm gonna say this. One, from what I was reading, they went to party to celebrate Jay Prince, right?
Mhm.
That's his birthday celebration. They're actually riding in his car with him earlier that evening.
Yeah, because they posted video.
They're posting videos and stuff. So after that event was supposed to end at 1 a.m. People were still lingering around at 2 a.m. And after 2 a.m., the fellas got together and said, let me roll a little bit of dice. You know what I'm saying? They started rolling the dice.
Okay, that makes sense.
And so they were actually doing it outside of the bowling alley casino that they were at. So what I was reading earlier, Takeoff was just kind of standing off to the side, just chilling on his own. Quavo and some of his, their camp, and then some other people were there, and just being men competitive, they were getting into it. It was like getting a little tense. And, somebody apparently from the Migos camp, got pulled out, a weapon and started shooting. And a stray bullet hit Takeoff either in the head or the neck. And that's how he passed at 2:30, around 2:36 this morning. But my biggest thing I wanted to take from all that is I was actually on, and the thing is, if y'all know me, everybody watching them, we y'all call y'all fans.
We don't have a name for them.
Okay, well, what you ask? What you asking?
You askers.
All the what you askings?
Finally,
My
you
fault.
plugged me up.
Sorry.
Damn.
Sorry, sir. But anyway, my fault. But all the it's gonna do it again too. All the you askings. Mike Talker's watching. Everybody watching this.
That's how you want your lady to speak to you.
This show tonight, but nah, real talk. I was on social media this morning. I went on Facebook looking to see who were putting on a timeline about Takeoff, and I came across this thing. I think you might know her, D, because I've seen you go back and forth with this. But I ain't gonna say her name.
D Jackson.
I ain't gonna say her name.
No,
but
we call people out on.
Cool. Yeah, it was her. But she had put this post up, and it really it perturbed me, dog. So I'm gonna read exactly what it says. She said, "This is." So she put a picture up of Takeoff, and it says, "Rapper Takeoff was reportedly shot and killed in Houston from the Shade Room," and she screenshotted that. And at 7:01, and then this morning at 8:33 a.m. she put which is crazy because it's exactly 12 hours from now. Anyway, exactly at 8:33 this morning, she put, "This is why you find a man that is not in someone's club every other weekend and out in the streets. What do you all expect to happen on holidays? You have all that money, and instead of spending it on a private beach or out or spending on a private beach or out the way, you're in other niggas' faces playing dice in the ghetto." And so my response was directly to her was, listen, I think, I think we're lacking some empathy because there's now a family, a mother, siblings, Quavo is his uncle, Offset's his cousin, like a family who is now having to go through a time of transition to bury this young 28-year-old man.
Does he have kids?
I don't know. I don't know, but
if he does, that's still.
But you know what I'm saying. And I think the sad thing is, like, like somebody made a point earlier. You don't hear about this type of stuff happening in the country music industry or in the rock and roll industry. It's always in Black culture, particularly hip hop. You hear it in R&B. You know what I'm saying? Like, and for whatever reason, you know what I'm saying. And it makes me think about. And I want to go on and over. It makes me think about what Tank said on Drink Champs. They asked Tank about, why do you think that like R&B doesn't really have the success that like hip hop does? It's still Black people, it's still Black music. And he basically said because the white people who still run this world, if you haven't realized, they actually want to pay to see the violence. Yeah. The same way sex sells, violence sells. So a rapper, they speak
love
about
doesn't sell.
Love doesn't sell. They speak about shooting and killing and the material things, and so they're gonna put them on a high pedestal because they want to see you go out there and act a certain way. In the R&B world, the love, it doesn't do that. So it was very sad. Like it kind of messed up my whole morning. Like I was just like in a whole different mood. Seeing that, and I wasn't like a big Migos fan, but just like I felt like I knew him or met him or something. It just hit me different. Yeah. And I talked to every one of my classes about it today. I was like, man, like life is too short. You only have one life to live, and just like I said, be the best version of yourself. It's really just unfortunate.
Hey, with you saying that, I got a quote that I heard on a movie. I can't remember what movie it was. I think it was Kickboxer with Jean-Claude Van Damme. I think that's what it was.
Yes, sure. But there's a name of a movie. Yes, yeah.
The quote was, "You only have one life to live, but you start living your second life when you realize you only have one." I was like, "Ooh, I like that." But it's true. You everything you just said was true. about her. That's how she posts. That's her thing. She grew up in the hood. She grew up over here where we at in this area. So, but she talks down. She talks down on a lot of people from this area because she's doing good. And me and her always argue, and I always tell her like, hey, look, you can't make it out and then shit on the people that was in the same position you was in, but you made it out. Everybody is not that fortunate to make it out. Everybody doesn't have that fortunate to get educated to realize what they doing is. You would be surprised how many people would think that's gang banging, that thinks this is nothing wrong with doing this. You would be surprised how many people think that. But you got to realize that's how some people grow up. That's the only truth that they know. So you can't really, the only thing you can do is educate them. I'm not gonna say that. I try not to knock people for it, but at the same time, if somebody that I grew up with is doing some messed up stuff, I tend to like say it like, hey bro, like don't you got kids out here? Like you need to watch what you're doing. I try not to do, for some reason, a lot of black men are sensitive to correction.
Mm-hmm.
They think you're trying to check them. So instead of taking the correction, they get defensive.
Yeah.
Well, I guess my not rebuttal, but I talked to my brother about this earlier too. My thought is like, okay, everybody's saying he shouldn't have been out there playing dice. Like, what would it? They would have found something to say regardless. He could have been at Ruth Chris. Why you don't have a personal chef?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He could have been at the mall. Why don't you just order online and go? You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, it don't matter what he was doing. They would have said something. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, again, I think people miss the detail that Takeoff was just standing there. You know what I'm saying?
He didn't have nothing to do with it.
I mean, and at the end of the day, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like it's a part of like black culture. Like, it's the same thing as playing spades, dominoes, and other stuff they do. Like, he's just throwing some dice with the fellas. Like, yeah, men get sometimes too competitive, whatever, but all these things considered, it shouldn't have resulted in him losing his life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
no matter how ghetto or ratchet you think.
Yeah, I mean, lick balls. But anyway, right. I don't know. That's how I
agree. From the top to the bottom.
Yeah.
But that's a sad situation that had to happen to him, especially with with him not even being involved in the situation. That
straight bullet
sucks even more. I don't want to hear no people talking about he was sacrificed either. Let's let his family grieve. You would want that. If my mom was to pass away, and then all of a sudden this podcast takes off, and then I start seeing people say, "Oh, he must have sacrificed his mom." Imagine the anger. Like, first of all, I'll wake up to somebody telling me my mom.
You wake up to TMZ.
Some media outlet telling me my mom
telling your mom died.
Like,
and then
it's no boundaries, no respect. Like, nah, they ain't how it's supposed to go.
We had a family had to have that conversation with my pastor, because he tends to do that a lot. When you tend to tell your pastor first, hey, so died, especially that member of your church. He has a bad habit of going straight to Facebook saying RIP or so and so died, and the family gotta be like, hey, wait, we ain't even tell everybody. You gotta.
Yeah, some people need to just respect boundaries. It's definitely boundaries, especially when it comes to a loved one passing away. So respect it. And if you don't respect it, you can't get mad at how the people react.
Exactly. People gonna react. People gonna feel the way they feel.
Basically, if it's me, man, I ain't about talking. We boxing for that post. Nothing else. Just for the post. And you're gonna take it down and apologize.
Did your kids feel some kind of way about the death? Did some of them even mention it?
A lot of them were shocked. The demographic at my school, so out of my 125 sixth graders, I have 124 Hispanic children, one white kid. So that most
and the rest is black.
No, I had no black students in sixth grade.
Wow.
So some of them knew, in the culture, I guess they knew who the Migos were, but some of them didn't know. You know what I'm saying? If you just said Bad Bunny or something, I would have probably been crying.
Oh yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? But I sang some of the songs to kind of Bad and Bougie, kind of remind them like, oh yeah, hey, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Remind themselves. But like I said, my whole message to them was like, man, this dude was young, like, just young. You know what I'm saying? Perspective, like some of their parents are the same age.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And just wanted them to understand, like, you only have one life to live. Life is so short. You got to be mindful of how we move, mindful of everything.
And who you hang around with too. That's another thing.
Shout out Chris.
Shout out to Chris Green. He said, it's our tone and lack of accountability in our cultures as a whole. We must do better as a whole. That is true. I agree with that. Speaking of education in school.
You plugged me up. Damn.
My bad. She gonna keep doing that all night because I gotta short my cord. I ain't trying to.
You want to use my cord?
Damn.
Yeah, because maybe yeah.
Don't we got it's a USB plug on the back of it, right?
Yeah, that's not for charging though.
Oh,
You don't know. People, you don't know. You don't know.
I don't know who this is. GZD.
Oh, that's Young Jeezy.
But go ahead, read the comment. Go ahead, read the comment.
Says, I think social media is a big cause of a lot of chaos too. Posting locations, being able to add a celebrity and talk reckless, being an avatar. Even our politicians aren't safe. See Nancy, what is it, Pelosi?
Mm-hmm. Nancy Pelosi's husband.
Oh, I think I heard about that. I ain't really looking into it.
So that is true. Speaking of, because PNB Rock, the girlfriend, posted where they were. I think the same thing happened.
I think
same thing happened to.
that wasn't true.
She did post the location though on a snap, and then she took it down.
She didn't do it in a malicious way.
She didn't do it in a malicious way. I'm not saying she did it malicious way, but she still posted a location, whether it was malicious or not. Same thing happened to Pop Smoke. His location was dropped. Either way, he posted, someone else posted it. It doesn't matter. Even if someone not does it in a malicious way, you could just be fun. Like we could just be doing podcasts and you could just be randomly posted at the barber joints and not thinking nothing of it.
Please don't post. Thank you. I'm posting on here. Thank you. Go.
I'm not.
It's all good. Now I will say this too.
I want to.
I'm back.
Hold on.
DJ, go ahead.
I just don't want to put too much emphasis. I don't want to put too much because, like Chris said, we gotta hold ourselves accountable. So we can't necessarily blame social media because your algorithm is based off of what you like.
And what you do in general, because you don't even have to post nothing. The iPhones are listening.
On my social media platforms, I got a lot of podcast stuff.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of like twerk videos and that kind of stuff. I got like a lot of reaction videos, podcast videos, music reviews, that kind of stuff.
But they listen to what you talk about too as well.
Yeah, I know. But that's what I'm saying with social media. I think it would be more on the kids side because kids are more easily influenced, but then that also falls back on accountability as the parent. Your kid shouldn't be on social media to the point to where somebody that they don't even know is influencing them to do something. You should have
they know what they are. You got to monitor that as well.
Like it's certain apps your kids shouldn't have.
I've always said actually like when people go out here and they meet people out there in the dating world or whatever, and sometimes a man will approach a woman and try to get her number like we used to do with grown folks, and she'll be like, well, you got Instagram? You got,
right.
And like I've always said this, people never agree with me, but I always say I feel like it's actually more dangerous nowadays to give out your social media than it is your phone number. A phone number you could just block somebody. Your social media, chances are you're posting your kids, you're posting where you work at, you taking pictures,
exactly.
You're making things like visible in the background.
It's more personal.
Your license plate by being there, like it's a lot more that you're sharing on your social media than you are the phone number. So.
I think I remember you saying that on one. It was on your show.
Yeah, I said it a few times. It's something I just believe, and I think people are weird. But also, if a woman tell me like you can hit me up on Instagram, I'm in my head. I've done it before. Like, no, I'm good. Have a blessed day. I'm grown. I'm not gonna find you on the IG and double tap.
But they do Snap.
It's another lick balls moment, by the way. But go ahead.
Yeah, they do that. Definitely on. You can take my Snap, but like
I ain't taking the Snap. What is that?
Lucky for me, I got a business number, so I can just give out the business number.
It's not she offered me a box of Rice Krispies. Take my Snap. All we missing is crackling and pop. Yeah,
Facebook user. They do it with subliminal messages. Who? What? Do what?
Hand out the Instagram and Facebook, probably.
Oh, you might be talking about the. I don't know.
Oh, probably what they posted the first time. But we're gonna go into our next topic, which is
I realized y'all wearing our shirts too. Thank y'all for that. I just realized that.
Yeah, man. I know. We
it's crazy because I didn't even know what my shirt was. He's random. Was like, I'm gonna wear my shirt. I'm like, I don't even know what my shirt is, and I just happened to pull up the first red shirt I pull up was if this mic could talk. I was like, okay.
Well, you must know.
No, it's not.
Was in my office.
It's not that I lost it. People, you know how many red shirts I have?
Still in the plastic. This is fresh out the plastic.
That's fresh out the plastic. I wear my shirt. I have a lot of red shirts. So it's crazy.
She was like, I can't find mine. I was like, well, I got 2 more over here.
One way you trying to give me Travis's.
An extra large.
Trying to give me Travis shirt. Travis ain't got his. But no, I wear my shirt. I wear your shirt. I wear a lot of people's shirts. So if you give me a shirt, or if I buy a shirt
to the kids, subliminal messages.
Yes, I definitely do wear your shirt and support your shirt to the point that people look at me like, "What's that? Who's that?" So, but we're gonna go to the next topic of conversation for tonight. I brought this up since we both work in the education field. I want to know your thoughts. What do you feel like is the future for education? Because at my school already, we had a pre-K4 teacher quit after 4 days. She couldn't handle it. It's almost 30 plus kids in each classroom. Teachers are quitting every day. What do you feel like the future of education for our kids?
Man, so I'll definitely start out with this very cliche, statement. I think teachers are very, educators in general. I wouldn't say teachers. Educators in general are very much so underpaid. But I will say this too. I think the way the world is going, I know even this year with our STAR test, at least in my school, they're actually doing it on computers instead of paper.
Yeah, I think they did that last year in my school.
And so I think that the way the world is going, they're trying to push everything towards like technology.
So you feel like it's going to be online teachers?
Not necessarily online teachers, because I think it's going to make it. I guess when I used to work at the Boys and Girls Club, right? I think they said every graduating class from 2015 on was considered quote unquote dumb, because all the years after that they're like super into computers and technology. Excuse me, there is no more like old school book reports or looking up things, and kids don't even know what an encyclopedia is.
Oh yeah.
And so it's different. So I think now as time progresses, they keep making more and more in-depth things. Phones can do more stuff. Like I know when I was a kid, you couldn't Google, what I'm saying, 2x plus 3y and get the answer. Now go on Google and type that and they give you every step. You know what I'm saying? So I think that you know what I'm saying? I think that as far as education where it's going, I think it's going to be more technology savvy, and less just for the human factor. Which I think
especially with the COVID really made it more technology savvy too, to the fact that the kids were on a computer all the time, doing homework, doing classwork.
I think every parent who did not take advantage of the year and a half of COVID should stop themselves. Let me tell you why. I know a lot of kids who had like bad GPAs, but they made school so easy during that year and a half, and a lot of them kids went to college on academic scholarships because there's damage just giving away free hundreds. Participation class. I'm saying grades like your kids didn't get.
I used to hate that in sports.
Oh, like the blue ribbon, everybody
the participation.
Yeah, second place. Second place, yeah, you earn it. Third place, yeah, but the participation ribbon and stuff like that. No,
the bench warmer.
You ain't even try.
Get that.
We got. When I was little, we didn't have a. If you lost, if you didn't get 1, 2, 3,
that's why
watch the ceremony.
Well, that's why they added.
Your lesson.
That's why they added the C team to a lot of the sports.
Yeah, it was
middle school and all that. They added that because the C team was for the people that they couldn't cut. They didn't want to cut you on the C team. So we have another comment. It says, homeschooling not by the parent but through the laptop and either Wi-Fi or internet connection. The actual school buildings will be turned into a high period condos.
High price.
Oh, high price condos.
Oh, you know what? So my personal opinion, and me and my wife talked about this too, because since my wife is a teacher, we actually, I told my wife by the time our oldest kids get to high school, we probably be doing homeschool, because from my opinion, the way education is going, it's gonna start. I think they're gonna start teaching shit that kids don't even really need to be learning, like the whole transgender education thing. Like, I think that's something that should be something taught in the house. So if it gets to that point, to where, because I think they're still fighting for this. If we get to the point to where that's going to be a part of the curriculum, we pulling our kids out. And the way we got it set up is, my wife, we can actually start like a small homeschool like program. You can actually start a school based out the house, and I don't know if people know this.
There's a couple people
who sell a tax break, and you get government aid with that too. You can just put that shit in your garage, have like 5 or 6 kids, and that's who you teaching. You know what I'm saying? And you can actually get teachers to participate in you know what I'm saying, make it that way. But like, It's and then the school shootings that's going on, the violence is picking up. Like it's starting to get real unsafe to go to school where you're supposed to not have to worry about.
And then there's no help in discipline. I see that a lot.
That's the biggest
in
thing.
my school.
Right.
It really
is horrible.
It's like you see a kid do something, the first thing you want to say is send them to the office, but then you think about it, it's like, well, they're not going to do anything. They're just going to send them back. So it's like, so why would I?
Because butts in the seats.
They had
me. Money.
They 7th, 5th grade. I was in the middle of teaching a new lesson, teaching them about bio, the meaning of bio, which means life. If you do not know, for all you people don't know. So I'm teaching a new lesson to the kids, and next minute, 2 students, a boy and a girl, started fighting over who's picking up homework. Fist fighting. The boy hit the boy. The boy threw the punch first. He was wrong.
What district you in?
Judson.
Okay, go ahead.
Look. He trying to make a point.
Yeah,
so they fist fighting, going at it. I'll call the office, say 2 students just got into a fight. Can I get an administrator? Come to the white classroom. The first thing they say is, can't they walk?
Can't they walk?
So they can fight again?
Fight in a hall.
So they can fight.
So the way she broke this down was 2 kids, Broom Quisha and Marcus, fight in the class.
Boom, 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 boom.
And she called down to the principal, you know what I'm saying? Principal Lewis. You know what I'm saying? I got 2 kids in here, you know what I'm saying, fight. Not beatboxing, just really boxing. And so the principal responded with, can't they walk down here themselves? Basically asking are they.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
So I set them outside.
What if one of their legs was?
I set them outside 2 feet apart, right? Set them outside until someone came.
Damn, that's great. Go ahead.
Well, it's about 2 feet. I don't know if it's 6 feet. I just set them apart outside, waiting for someone to come get them. And I'm over here writing down definitions of words. I'm like, biodegradable. Here's a definition. Write this down. Go outside. Check on them. Make sure they ain't hitting each other again. Go back inside. Write another word, another definition. Go back outside. Check to make sure that I hit each other until someone came. So they sent a lady that used to be over ISS. We don't have ISS anymore. They sent her to come get the kids. As they're leaving, they called down the office talking about, can Johnny get sent to the office? He's leaving. I'm like, let Johnny's parents know he just hit a girl. He just got into a fight. Let his parents know.
It didn't happen
over homework. And it wasn't even that serious.
I wouldn't be myself if I didn't ask this question. While you scrolling, I want to ask this question. I wouldn't be D. Jones if I didn't ask the question. You said in your story that you gave little Johnny, Marcus as I call him, but anyway, you gave little Johnny, some work, and you gave him the definition as well on biodegradable. So what was he supposed to do? Like, what was he? Just like,
no, so what it is they were writing down the words and the definitions in their journal.
Right.
But what it was is before that, I had the girl who got hit first picking up the homework, and Marcus was like, "Pick up my homework," and she purposely passed over him. She's like, "Wait a minute, I'll get your homework." He said it again. No, get my homework. And next minute I know, he put the paper down and they started going in 5th. And they started going at it over homework. But no, so the teacher was absent and she's over English, so she has them do root words every day. It was a root word bio. So that's what I was doing right now. And they have to copy it in their journal. And as they're doing that, I'm making sure they ain't hitting each other again outside because nobody wants to come. Because nobody wants to come and get the kids, man. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, I'm just a sub.
We got go up. We got some comments.
Chris, we do got some comments.
Chris said, go up again. Right there, Chris.
So you want to read it? Go ahead.
Yeah. So Chris said, millennials kids are doomed. We are so hung up on finding things to cancel that our kids can't learn the proper information. Teachers do more interacting with parents about BS than actual teaching. I just said that.
I agree. And then parents always look at you like, my child did it. You sure? You positive?
You think kids are bad classroom? You ought to see these kids on the bus.
Oh, after school too.
Man, hey.
After school on the bus.
These kids talk like 40-year-old adults.
He said, my wife is a teacher. The stories I could tell, boy.
Man, I'm telling you,
trust
my wife
me, I know.
Too, so
Pre-K, man.
Telling us too. She be sending us
pre-K
and everything.
Pre-K, throwing whole fits.
That's Ari. He's throwing stuff.
Pre-K is at that age where they throw a fit about anything. You can say it's snack time, then they start throwing a fit. Why you throwing a fit? You don't want a snack? I do want a snack. And why are you crying? I don't know. Well, let's figure this out.
It's right here. Did y'all read that story? You
Not yet. Go ahead.
I'll share one. She teaches 2nd and 3rd grade. A mother complained to district that she wasn't helping the student blow their nose. The kids snotty all damn day. He's in 3rd grade. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That was a complaint.
I didn't get a complaint, but there's a little. If you don't know,
It's
pre-K.
still COVID.
If you don't know,
that?
pre-K 3 and 4 do not have to be potty trained to come to school, especially in the adjusted district.
You just be snotty.
They don't have to be potty
you
trained.
definitely
I
be
tell him eat it.
snotty.
It tastes like salt. Eat it up.
They don't have to be potty trained.
Season your
So
lunch food.
there's this boy. He can I go to the restroom? Sure. Took him to the restroom. Outside waiting for him. He's crying. I go in there and check. I'm like, usually they cry when they can't write themselves. I'm like, why are you crying? I gotta go. Well, go. He's like, I can't hold it. Talking about his little wee wee. I'm like, I'm not holding that.
Can't
for
hold
you.
that thing.
I'm not holding it for you. I'm
It's too
sorry.
big.
I guess you ain't
It's
gotta go.
too wide.
I guess you ain't going. And took him back inside.
Can't hold that
That's
thing.
crazy.
I'm not doing that.
Nah, that's crazy.
I'm not doing that. That's,
Now, hey man, shout out to all the people in education. I pray for y'all, man. My wife comes home with a story every day. It's not a day.
and they do
that she
more
don't
than
have
the
a story.
administrators. Because I know a lot of administrators when situations go down,
He said I have one, but it's a little wild.
especially because I know when a lot of stuff go down, administrators always want to look at you like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
Yeah,
go
share
ahead,
that
tell
story.
us,
We
Chris.
wanna
We're
hear
gonna-
it.
we're gonna read that out.
We do, but a lot of administrators just look at you like, what are you gonna do about it?
Yeah.
When they implement something. So, for instance, in the beginning of the school year, our principal said that, oh yes, please sit the kids, boy, girl, in the cafeteria. That'd be perfect.
They're doing patterns.
Less trouble, less food fights. Worked perfectly. One 5th grader, he complained to his mom. His mom sent the email. Instead of principal saying, I'm the one that implemented, the principal was like, oh no, it's the cafeteria people. Talk to them.
See,
Instead of her saying,
She went to boy, girl.
who, the principal?
The mom didn't want him sending boy, girl.
No,
What you want?
anywhere they
Sit
want.
by his
Sit
damn
by their
self.
friends so they can cut up.
Sit
and
by
everything.
their damn self.
I
Hey,
give it to
man,
the
look.
pre-K teachers. I had pre-K and that crying. Yeah.
My grandma had this saying when I was a kid, and I get pissed off when she would say it to me. But now that I'm grown, like literally 3 times 7 and some, I feel like I can use it. And so she used to always say, like, people run their mouth, I run my business. And that's how I feel about some of these parents. Like, you don't even work here. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I go in my room and shut the door, listen, big boss. That's what it is. They're saying, like,
oh yes, oh I hate that when the boys sit down and do number 2.
What?
Man.
And urinals?
It's pre-kinder. They don't know. Pre-K don't know. I had a pre-kinder, man.
Hey, look. Okay, look. I don't know if y'all know this or not, but y'all can share this with parents if y'all want to. This is up to y'all. So they have urinals for potty training. You put it on the wall. We have one for Ari. You put the urinal on the wall, and then you have the potty.
Like a fat head just
well,
sticks
you gotta
on
think
there,
about it.
Yeah, it sticks. It sticks on the wall. It's the like a
the fat head version or something.
What you mean fat head version?
Like the fat, you know what the fat head is? Like the big old like characters they have in the room on the wall, like the stick on the. Never mind.
No,
is it wallpaper urinal or
no? It's an actual urinal.
Could you say you stick it to the wall? I got it. He didn't get it. But some parents, no matter what advice you get and what resources they gonna look at you like, I don't need your help. I got this sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a pre-kinder. He goes to the restroom. All you see is 2 feet dangling. So I know he wasn't in the right stall. And I'm like, you need to get up. He's like, I can't. It's already coming out.
Did y'all just read what he?
I read that. They let you go to the boys.
We have to sometimes.
Man.
Because it's not too many male teachers at our school.
Wait a minute. They shit on urinal cakes. What's urinal cakes?
The little thingies.
The urinal cakes.
That's what they call.
Yeah.
The things that's in our urinal.
So we're gonna read the story if you
really
can't see it. A 3rd grade boy, long story short. You want to read it? That's he said no. Okay. He acts up every day so he can go to the room by himself. When he gets there, he masturbates and finishes. But 3rd grade.
3rd grade, bro. Yeah.
4th grade girls throwing wet toilet paper on the ceiling. Man, I think the most issues I see with 4th grade, 3rd grade, 5th grade is boyfriend, girlfriend. Who's talking to who?
The urinal cakes are throwing them is crazy.
Yeah. I mostly see boyfriend, girlfriend stuff. Who's talking to who's not talking to who this person, who's dating, who's.
Yeah, my daughter knows.
And I see a lot of men.
Well,
not men. I see a lot of boys putting their hands on women, on females.
Like
I don't say women, but females. 4th grade, 5th grade, a lot of boys putting on their classmates. That's why I said girls. I changed it. I didn't mean to say women. But I see a lot of boys putting their hands on females. I don't know.
Like what you mean? Putting like filling on them?
No, like either fighting them, hitting them with balls.
What age?
5th grade, 4th grade, 5th grade. We're not
Okay, I'm titter totter on that because they're about equal.
What was the first one?
fighting.
Yeah, they're about equal. Man,
I said I see a lot of
Titty
boys.
totter,
titter totter.
teeter totter.
Whatever.
What's that? Titty?
Seesaw.
You horny?
Seesaw.
He's like that 3rd grade. He
I'm
needs to
trying
go
get
to
in
a
trouble and
room
go
by
to a room
himself.
No, but like in 5th grade, you kind of equal. You still kind of equal. You know, most of the boys haven't hit that growth spurt yet.
It doesn't matter. You still know,
grade.
but your parents should still teach you not to.
My mom taught me.
That's
don't
that
put
they.
my hands on a female.
If they hit you first, that's
Unless
different. But like I said, the fight in 5th grade, he hit first. Most of the fights that happen, they hit first. The
even if it's
boys
a boy,
are
you
hitting
never
first.
supposed to hit first.
The boys are hitting first.
Unless he's bigger than you, then you definitely hitting first. If you get hit first, you might not get the swing back. Some little girls too. Some little girls got some haymakers. So
I don't know. This girl was holding her own.
Shout out to T1, man. He teaches self-defense class.
This girl was holding her own.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That Chris and Darnell, y'all two got the crazy.
They really do.
Shit,
how many black teachers at your school? You don't mind me asking?
Let me think about it real fast. Let me see. On middle school where I'm at, let me see. Going down the hallway, 1, 2. We go down here, 3, 4. Okay. Go to the other side. We got let's see. We got 5, 6. Keep going down. 7, 8, 9, 10.
That's a lot.
And an assistant principal, all in middle school.
Okay.
And you only got one black kid.
Black kids in 6th grade.
Oh no.
No. I have one kid that's mixed with Hispanic and black. The mama's black, but she look like Hispanic.
What district you in?
Kip.
Oh,
my school's actually downtown too.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
That's the demographic.
From the freeway, right?
Yeah. Now last year,
by Fox Tech.
Yeah.
By Fox Tech?
Now last year though, when I was over there off Walsham,
see, that's what I thought you still was. Okay.
That's where they was all over. We blended in. We blended.
We blended.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, at Sam Houston, it was black and Mexican.
Yeah. Who running the world? Us. That's what it was over there.
So my school is 3 black teachers, and my principal is black. I'm not talking about the assistant. I'm not talking about the assisting staff. Like there's a couple of
how many?
Just 3 black teachers.
Bless you.
2 females and a male.
Wow.
Kinder, 2nd grade, and 4th grade.
You know, scratch realized too. Girls get mad when you say female, and she referred to them as female. Let me continue. My bad. I realized
that. Just like
I realized
you can't call them bitch, but they can.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, they be like, hey, I like that's crazy.
I can't stand that word.
That's weird.
Those bumper stickers said that.
Did it?
No, I'm just playing.
Go to
6th grade blind kid gave another kid a black eye.
Oh stop! I'm sorry.
Oh my God, these kids!
I can't.
Is this in San Antonio? This
it has to be
in San Antonio.
I can't. Man.
Hey, shout out to everybody listening right now, tuning in. Do us a huge favor. First of all, if you haven't subscribed to If This Mic Can Talk, I said it right. You hear me?
Yep.
Okay.
I appreciate you saying you're fine in life.
Go subscribe to them right now, man. Follow them
he's
on
from
all
Sam
platforms.
Houston. Yeah.
Also, share the video right now. Go and subscribe to us. Go subscribe to us on all our social media platforms. Just everything is Where You Ask Podcast. We'll pop right up.
Exactly.
I just want to throw that in. Oh, New Orleans.
We're live on
Tuesdays. Like some New Orleans shit.
We're live on Tuesdays, and If This Mic Could Talk is live on Wednesdays. So
they
go ahead.
They live every day. That's what it seems like.
If This Mic Could Talk.
You still do your chitty chats?
Man, it's funny you asked me about the chitty chat because I haven't done them in a while. But it's crazy because people been like really, really asking for the chitty chat. They're probably saying chitty chat right now as I say this. But I definitely want to get back into doing those because it's a totally different experience than our actual shows.
It really is. I like
so,
those. I like the chitty chats.
I want to give the mic talkers what they even ask.
That's when you get the spicy topics.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying that's that mild and that spicy bucket.
Exactly. Our next topic for tonight, we're talking about how, Black celebrities, whether you are actor, actress, football player, basketball player, no matter what you do, entertainer, we always get backlash for whatever we say. Whether we're standing up for justice, whether we're not standing up for justice, whether we're saying 1 + 1 is 2, they're gonna be like, "Oh my God, he said it's 2," and it's
an invisible.
No matter what it is, they get backlash. I want you to talk about this a little more since you brought up this topic.
He ain't did no chitty chat because he's been sprung on some kitty cat.
You got your little kitty cat.
No, that's not accurate. That's not right, sir. That's not right. That's not right.
He said it's more like a Twizzler.
You don't want to just celebrate an anniversary, my guy. You know what I'm saying? That's you. You know what I'm saying?
He's saying it's
Hey,
more.
shout out to Chris. Chris, hey, drop your product.
Your beard product,
beard
please
product.
let us know.
And let me know if you got oil. I got the shea butter. I think that's what I got.
I need some without tea tree in it, please. You know what I'm saying? Can you do the tea tree? You know what I'm saying? My face too sensitive for that. Tree.
Do you have any if you have some beard stuff for people who can't connect their beard, you know, that'd be kind of dope.
No, that's a
thing.
personal problem.
I know. I'm joking.
Does yours connect?
I don't have a beard.
I'm talking about D. I see. I'm talking about D. That's crazy. Guilty conscience. She had a bad
She didn't even look.
I didn't even.
I'm talking about D. She over here just like.
I know, because he made a comment.
You
didn't hear the comment, but go ahead.
What was the question?
Do your beard connect?
There you go.
Does your beard connect?
If y'all got a boyfriend or anything, y'all want to get him something.
If you got Kit Kat,
got a girlfriend,
you got a kitty cat, a Twizzler.
We saying
Snicker bar.
Twizzler?
Go ahead and hit that link in there.
Snicker bar.
And get your man, your significant other, your dad, anybody with, you know, some beer love. You know, he got some other stuff on there. I'm waiting on you was out of oil the last time I went on there, so let me know. I'm gonna try to grab some this weekend.
For sure.
Oh, but so celebrity. So of course. So you've been keeping up with the Kanye West thing? We talked about this last week.
Yes, sir.
So
we're talking about the Kyrie Irving thing now.
Yeah, but Kyrie Irving relates to Kanye West. It's basically one and the same. So did you? What do you think about did you watch the interview?
I seen most of it. You know what I'm saying? I think the one thing about me is I'm always gonna go like look at the whole thing to make my own assessment. Not just
right. Because I watched it when I was on my route, and I watched the whole thing. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah. So you asked me my opinion.
I didn't watch the whole Drink Champs
one,
but I watched the one with the
guy interviewing
whatever. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah, him.
Yes, I think. So I'll go back a little further. So for years, Black people and Black culture have been making this statement that they want us to feel included with the rest of, you know, humans, you know what I'm saying, mankind, right? And so one of the things that we have always fought and wanted to be included in is freedom of speech. Mm-hmm. So, you know, people, Black, you know, white, whoever, went to fight for our country and still do so now to this current day, present day, for us to have that right of freedom of speech. Yet when someone is giving their freedom of speech or their opinion, tear down our own. Like one step, I've always said this, and this is it might be unpopular opinion, I don't care, you know what I'm saying? But I always hear a lot of Black women say, you know, like we love our Black kings, we protect our Black kings. But I think a lot of times, you know, and I'm sure I don't speak for all Black men, but I know I don't, but I'm sure a lot of Black men feel this way when I say we don't necessarily find it to be true. You know what I'm saying? A Black man or Black men speak their opinion again on a particular subject, and now all their legacy is tarnished. They're damned, they're bashed, cancel them, forget no forgiveness, and they're shunned to the, you know, can't come to the cookout. You know what I'm saying? They bring all the meat. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
it's unfortunate. And I just feel like, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day, like, everybody's gonna have an opinion. I think what people don't understand is when you're passionate about anything, your opinion, your passion is gonna come out through your opinion. And so clearly he's passionate about how he feels, and he's speaking that way. I mean, I don't think you have to necessarily agree to what he's saying, but I don't think it has to be that deep to cancel somebody and bash him and talk bad about his family and accuse him and diagnose him of mental illness. Like, none of us are doctors. We don't know what he got. He could literally just be passionate speaking his mind.
They call Dave Chappelle crazy because he turned down $50 million.
But every time he put a special there, they're watching it. You know what I'm saying? Genius.
Exactly.
Then earlier this year, when Genius, or last year when it was, when Genius came out on Netflix, Kanye's thing, everybody, oh my God, Kanye to the now. You know what I'm saying? They want to cancel him because he spoke his opinion about this. So,
I was telling Blue last week, the only reason two in both interviews, the only reason he got backlash is, one is that he name dropped on the Drink Champs. They don't like that. He dropped too many names of too many executives and stuff like that. The second interview with the dude, the British dude or whatever, the black backlash was because they said that he was making anti-Semitic comments, right?
Mm-hmm.
When he did the DEF CON thing. So if you watch the interview, he explains it perfectly what he meant when he said that, and the dude just basically ignored his explanation.
And you say he was envious of all the different things they have, and we don't.
So he was talking about first. One thing he talked about was the contracts. So he kept saying Jewish people, and the dude kept saying, "Well, why you keep saying Jewish? Why do you keep saying Jewish?" He was like, "So happened, majority of the owners of these record labels are Jewish. Coincidentally, a lot of people that has messed me over in business are Jewish." He said, "So if a black man get over with a gun, and he's in a car with 3 other people, you think they just gonna take the one dude? No, everybody in the car is getting arrested. We'll figure out the rest later." He said, "So right now, when he's talking about the Jewish media, everybody's getting arrested right now. We'll work out the good ones and the bad ones later, if you're guilty or not." Another thing they got mad at is because he kept correcting him, saying, "I'm not black, I'm Jew. I'm not black. Are you going to acknowledge that I'm Jew?" And the dude wouldn't acknowledge it because that's another sensitive subject when it comes to like history and Bible and biblical and stuff like that. That's another one. Another thing I was telling Blue, basically, I was telling her we might get canceled because I was talking about it. But if anybody, I ain't gonna say if anybody reads the Bible because everybody gets their own opinion when they read it. But if you just read it for face value and you take those words, it basically tells you the characteristics, the makeup, and the certain things that's going to happen to certain people that identifying marker of who what they call Jews is, and that it doesn't fit those people over there that they call Jewish people right now. But in Genesis is the perfect layout. It tells you who everybody is, but America has done a real good job of helping them. I don't know if people do research. I can go on and on, so just I'm gonna have to stop. 1948, America helped Israel become a Jewish state. Ever since then, that Israel's been in war because in the Bible it says they would not have peace because that is not their land. So it's as much as you want to pray for Palestine, it's not going to be peace over there because that land does not belong to them. Then Kanye West says it. Then Kyrie Irving recently
he just posted something. He just posted something. You know what I'm saying?
A documentary,
right?
Hebrews to Negroes. It's a documentary. People saying what made me mad is Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless is commenting on this. Y'all are a sports analyst show. Y'all worry about his basketball game. Don't worry about what he's posting on Twitter. I don't watch y'all for that. Stephen A. Smith, I love you. I don't watch you for your political input or your religious outtake on what other athletes do. I want to know how you feel about the Knicks. What's your top 5 in football? That kind of stuff. I don't care about the other stuff. Kyrie Irving shared the tweet of a documentary, and he's getting ripped for that because they say, "Oh, it's anti-Semitic rhetoric in there." Okay, so if black people are Jews too, like Kanye West said, how is it anti-Semitic? But I can make a rap song about killing other black people. That's not anti-nothing. That's entertainment.
Well, I mean, I'm not too like well versed in all the things you said for sure. You know what I'm saying? Definitely not knowledge there. What I will say though, and it may be unpopular opinion, but this reminds me what I always call it the double tap. Mm-hmm. You can be on Instagram and looking at, you know what I'm saying? A married man can be on Instagram and look at big booties for 8 hours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You don't have to double tap. You know what I'm saying? The double tap does nothing to enhance the booty. It doesn't make it come out the phone. It doesn't make her knock at your door. Like, it's just
or respond to you.
You know what I'm saying? You just tapping it. You know what I'm saying? You Instagram, you just tell all your business. You tell everybody you double tap on everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like people's relationships
you can see who
people's relationships getting all kind of out of whack because you sit here double tapping at the woman with the big behinds all day. Instead just look at it and keep scrolling. Like she can't tell you looked at it.
No.
Just you know what I'm saying? But the way it correlates what I'm trying to say with this is like I believe this, you know what I'm saying? We always, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna assume that, you know, people in black culture created that phrase, get the bag, and made it popular. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody's saying get the bag, Ziploc or Michael Kors, whatever kind of bag it is, just get it. And I feel like, you know what I'm saying, if we gonna, you know, have that mindset of, you know, get out here and get the bag, create generational wealth. That's the thing everybody keeps saying, generational wealth, create for our offspring and for generations to come and so forth. well, I feel like we should have the mindset of like not letting anything affect the money that, or the wealth or the opportunity or the benefits that my children and grandchildren and great grandchildren will soon benefit from.
Right.
So what I'm trying to say is like, while I appreciate Kyrie Irving having the mindset to, share whatever he wants to share, maybe, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I always say like your team is important.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody his team just say, hey, Kai, maybe until you stop playing,
Right.
stop posting certain things, because what's happening now is like there's people out here literally saying, hey, suspend them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Cut them from the team. Like that's messing up your pockets.
Wouldn't that be proving what they saying though?
What do you mean?
Like when Kanye West said, because Kanye West lost a lot of endorsements too,
right? Yeah, a lot.
Adidas and all
A
that
lot.
stuff, right?
Lord help him. Go ahead.
So, but he was prepared for that. He knew this was gonna
He
happen.
got stupid money still though.
Yeah, but he knew this was gonna. He said one thing that stuck out to me. He said, Tupac told me that first you get the money, then you go to war, because their pockets is deep. Who you fighting against? So when he said the Jewish media and what they gonna do, he specifically said what they was gonna do in that Drink Champs interview, and that's what they doing. But we not. I don't think a lot of people was recognizing what he said. I think they still stuck on that he's crazy. I think people still got that narrative in their head.
They assume. I mean, they call us Geminis crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Gemini. They say thing about Tupac. Say thing about Ice Cube. Say thing about Kanye. Say something about all these different people.
And
like,
all those people you name are outspoken.
Right. Very outspoken people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think, again, like, I don't know. I just, we play like this double dutch thing when it comes to people in our own culture. Like, before, when his mom first died, they say he was a loon. Then he came out with Yeezys and everybody wearing them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, then he become a billionaire and he makes some comments and everybody want to cancel him again. Like, I guarantee you, if he creates some new shoes in 2 months called shoes, you know what I'm saying? We're going to start buying them. You know what I'm saying? We got to, pick a side and just, be confident and stand on whatever you want to stand on. Like, I just feel like people can say what they want to say. Either you choose, you don't have to support what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of my greatest friends that I have to this day, we don't agree on everything. We have great debates.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I love you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Talk to you later. Like, you know what I'm saying? I do a podcast with a guy who has a polar opposite mindset than me.
Oh,
completely different. You know what I'm saying? And we just do it don't have no effect on our relationship outside of that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you know what I'm
But
saying?
that's what you want in a podcast, though. If everybody agrees, I feel like the podcast would be boring.
I mean, I feel like I feel like I can only speak for it, I can talk. With us, I feel like regardless if we agreed or disagree, because sometimes we agree, the energy and the chemistry we have would still make it what it is.
Right.
But my point is, though, like, even us having differences, it doesn't mean that we have to dislike each other or cancel each other because we might have feel a different way. Because I can give you a prime example. Like, B-Ken is real big on, like, if he's dating a woman and his kids don't like that woman is immediately dismissed.
Right.
Well, I'm polar opposite. If my daughter came to me and said, I don't like, you know what I'm saying, such and such, that's unfortunate, honey. Go sit down.
What if your daughter got to know that significant other and then she realized, no?
Still don't matter.
It's ultimately his
choice. I think that's where parents mess up.
What if they make them feel uncomfortable?
Yeah, I mean, again, unless she's doing something crazy, like, at the end of the day, I think a lot of parents, in my opinion, a lot of parents mess up because they live their life through their children.
Yeah.
Like, I think y'all understand, your children will leave you.
Yeah.
And so while you out here spending 18 plus years investing every thought and thing you do into your child can't wait to get away from
women
you.
mostly do that to
you know what I'm saying?
So single women, they do that to their sons.
They can't wait to get away from you. So at the end of the day, like, again, like I said before, to me, one of the greatest gifts you can give your children is the example of a healthy relationship. So,
Exactly.
like, children are very manipulative. Some of the most manipulative creatures on this earth.
Oh, that is
they know
true,
exactly
too.
what to say to make you move a certain way. So my daughter came in and said, "Daddy, I don't like her." Well, that's unfortunate, honey. When dinner's in the kitchen, you know what I'm saying, eat. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't just leave because she said that. Now, there's a big issue, like, that's different. But, like, just the fact that you're saying I don't like her, like, get to know her. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, a lot of foods I didn't like till I tried it. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. Go read Chris.
I'm trying to read
Chris
this one.
The news one. Appreciate y'all.
You know, I posted it. People don't have to. Don't have to read every comment.
Oh,
I
didn't see you post it because
I was done. I was reading something.
But while we speaking on what he said, I want to bring up the other topic.
Yeah, that's actually a good.
Which is toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
And you can bring that since this is your topic. Go ahead.
So
You saw a video.
we saw a video. I mean, we can't play the video. Right?
No.
So
Yes, that every
he
episode.
was basically
like it's gonna
saying
change.
the video. So I just want the opinion. So the video basically was saying that a lot of what we say is toxic masculinity might not be toxic masculinity because a lot of these men are growing up in single parent households which are led by women, and maybe because he didn't say what it was. He was just like he kind of put it out there to where you can be like, oh, okay, I see where he's going with it. That's how he left it out there. But he was saying a dude 9 times out of he said, where's these toxic men at? Like yelling in these women's faces and telling them all this kind of stuff. Chances are you will see a woman doing that to a dude before you see a dude doing that to a chick. Like I've seen a lot of chicks like in big dudes' faces that they know they can't whoop and just straight disrespecting them and stuff like that. But I think some men learn these traits from growing up around their mom. I guess it depends on the mom too and the upbringing. But we is masked as toxic masculinity when it could be actually toxic femininity. Would that be a word? Is that how you say that? Femininity.
What part are you saying is a toxic masculinity? Like them.
So like you know how dudes, for some reason, toxic man is popular.
Yeah.
Oh, I need a man that's toxic. Like what's Lil Durk?
Like
he was telling
like
old girl.
Are you talking like
gonna
Blueface
leave me,
relationship?
Like the bad boy type stuff.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Or like
so,
Blueface relationship with
that's
toxic.
Stuff. So they would consider that toxic masculinity. When actually it might not be toxic masculinity because it's learned behavior from him growing up with his mom in a single household.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna tell you now.
I grew up with my mom. I grew up with just my mom. I've never displayed like what you would call toxic masculinity. But my upbringing was kind of different because I was brought up with my mom, but at the same time,
you had uncles.
I had uncles, but it was more of a street aspect to it. Because my mom was like street oriented, so it was a lot of respect that was taught. You know, like, hey, you know, look people in their eyes, shake people's hand. She said, I can't teach you how to be a man, but I can teach you how to not be a chick or a bitch, basically. So my uncles came in with that part of the aspect. But as far as like me growing up with my mom, I never seen my mom like getting a dude's face and straight disrespecting. Because in the streets it's more of a respect than it is about showing. I think it's different now. I think
so
women.
What part are we?
So the toxic masculinity,
right,
I think, from what the dude was saying, can we play it for him and let him see it on the phone?
He can see. That's gonna be kind of awkward.
That's cool.
No, it's not. Because I want him. I want him to grasp what the dude was saying. Because I'm just paraphrasing right now.
Is he saying like basically like toxic masculinity, like how? Are you saying like how men treat women based on their experiences with their upbringing, or
yes?
Yeah, but it's called toxic masculinity,
right?
But that might not be what it actually is.
Well, so I'll say this. I remember I was working at a job. Actually, when we first started doing the podcast, like episode 9, I remember, and there was this woman. She was at work. She was kind of venting a little bit, or she asked me for my advice rather. She was saying how she's married to a man, and he's not affectionate or attentive. He treats her and her daughters like crap. He's very aggressive. And she said when she approached him and talked to him about going to do counseling and so forth, his reasoning behind his behavior towards them was when he grew up, his mom was very affectionate towards his sisters, but treated him like crap, and so it kind of translated. And I when people tell me stuff, I always ask like, do you want to hear like the Daniel like truth, or do you want me to say what I think you want to hear? When they say the Daniel truth, I say, well, for me, it's common sense. Like, I think people don't, and I understand, therapy is a great thing. Go get some.
Right.
But I also feel like there's like, I think sometimes we put too much, credit into these other things. Like, it's very self-explanatory. Decide to commit to a person, get in a relationship. As a man, by default, you should know this woman requires, even if she don't say it, certain things.
Yeah.
You need to be a little softer with her. You need to
Right.
be affectionate with her. You need to be attentive. You need to make sure she feels like a woman,
Right.
no matter how independent or self-sufficient she. I think that's just something you should automatically know when you are dealing with a woman. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that a lot of people create these like scapegoats and excuses, and try to live and hone on those things. So that's my thought.
Yeah, yeah, that's I can see that. What you think? Have you ever? I guess have you ever encountered what you would deem as toxic masculinity?
Not in my household.
No, like
in
dating
general,
or just
dating. Me personally, no, not dating, but I've seen it with other people in their relationships.
So what would be like? My whole thing is what are characteristics of a toxic? Because it's called toxic masculinity.
Yeah,
but
I would just call it toxic
person. Right?
I would just call it toxic.
Versus
So
putting
my
the
supervisor,
masculine-
her soon-to-be ex-husband, they were only married for a year. She was with
Yeah, you
him.
make it to the second year is usually the hardest year.
She was with him back when he was locked up. He was in this known like drug game, big like drug pen, whatever you have it. And she was with him when he was locked up. She stayed with him when he got out. They've been together for some years, and then they ended up getting married. Like I said, only lasted a year. He was very what's it called? He was very narcissistic. Narcissistic. Thank you.
He was a narcissist.
He was a narcissistic, big one. He also, of course, how can I put this? Put it in a nice way, because he's very toxic. He controlled everything. She did, even to the point where they went to the movies one day, and there was this black man sitting two seats down. He was like, "Oh, so you invited the janitor to come to the movies?" And she didn't even know the black dude. It was some random black dude at the movies. Wasn't even a custodian at our school. Like, he's very, where's your location 24/7? What are you doing? Who are you talking to? Who's that in the background?
So I'm glad you saying that, because that would be deemed as toxic masculinity. But women, like Chris just said it, women display those traits too.
Oh, I agree.
So is that still considered toxic? Why is it masculine? Because given or the aggression?
I'm assuming that's why they're calling it that.
Yeah.
But some women not even aggressive when they do it.
Not aggressive when they do it.
Like displaying, like how she was describing the dude as basically controlling
your life, where you at 24/7. You don't have to be aggressive to do that.
Women, but that goes back to what D. Jones just said, because she can be acting that way because of her past experiences, but at the same time, like, I wouldn't. It's just the whole point of it. It's automatically deemed as toxic masculinity versus just being a toxic person or a hurt person.
Yeah.
So
I think it's the wordplay that gets me.
I only gave one side, the men. So I jump into the women now. This is how I feel.
Women are evil.
So I'm gonna just do. I'm not gonna. I know.
No.
D hate the Bible. But I'm gonna just say it real fast. You don't hate the Bible.
I'm about to say what?
But I'll say this, right. So like, for everybody who's a Christian out there, like, they can relate to this. Like, in the story of Adam and Eve, God created Adam first. I'm sure we all agree there.
Yeah.
Okay. He was the first human that was created. Then Eve came along. People in society always paint the woman as the emotional creature.
Right.
If you're thinking just on surface level, well, then we have to understand that if God made Adam first and Adam is also a human, that means all the emotions that the woman has, the man had them first. And so it's okay for a man to be vulnerable, cry, yada, yada, so forth. I think society has painted this weird picture that men, can't be that way. And I think a lot of times women feed off of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they expect you to be this hard person, and this hard, like, fear of a being, and it's not necessarily fair. Like, men want to be held sometimes. Men want to be able to cry without being, called a girl, or like, less of a man. Like, it's not fair. You know what I'm saying? So, like, right here, when he said it's like when a woman tells her son not to cry, like, or don't be a girl, be a man. Like, that boy's 8 years old. He's nowhere near a man. He's a boy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he should be able to learn his emotions and learn how to, compartmentalize them, because, you know what I'm saying, like, it's not, it ain't fair, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I think it's very, when you were talking about the whole like controlling thing, I'll jump into that real fast. Like, I dislike when people do that, because I think what they're trying to do is like find a way to cover up the word respect. Like, three words I live by is respect is non-negotiable. And so I feel like when you get in a relationship, there has to be a lot less of I and me and a lot more of us and we.
Yeah.
And so if I'm going to be with you, the next step after we commit to each other literally is getting engaged and getting married. So if I'm not ready for marriage, I shouldn't get with you anyway, first of all. But second of all, once we're in a relationship, like, your feelings on both sides should matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's a respect thing to say, hey, babe, I'm going out with the girls. We're going to be out, doing some wine tasting tonight. Like, I'll let you know when I get home and talk to you tomorrow. Okay, babe, have a good time. You know what I'm saying? Be safe.
Right. That's
not me being controlling. It's just me not necessarily want to know. You know what's crazy? I don't think people think about this.
They would call controlling if you tell her, send me a text when you make it.
Yeah, that's controlling. But but you know what's crazy about with that same thing you just said, text, right? As you get further in the relationship, sometimes your parents and your significant other have each other's information.
Right.
You know how bad it makes them look if my mama call my lady and say, hey, do you know where Daniel is? And she can't tell her.
Yeah.
That makes that's now y'all looking like, where y'all communication at? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
It's crazy.
That actually happened.
It did. That's what I was thinking. And we're not even in a relationship. So if you don't know Mr. D Live at 5, he has 2 phones, but never can keep a charge on him. And never can keep it charged. So he goes out to do an interview and he uses his phone to videotape the interview. You know, that takes a lot of your battery. Yeah. His phone dies. His mom couldn't get in touch with him. His wife couldn't get in touch with him. So she calls. They both call me on Facebook. Where's my husband? Where's my son? I'm like, the last thing I know. No, I was at work. You went to go interview what's her name at the hookah place, Angel.
Oh yeah,
I host Angel.
The first time.
Yeah, that's the first time. So
yeah, you left the doghouse. Go ahead.
Yeah,
we because I did an interview and then we went back to do the podcast.
Yeah, later on. That was another day. So he goes interview so and so. His phone dies. They calling me with my son, with my husband at. I'm saying the last place I know, he's at the hookah place doing an interview. His phone had died. They didn't know where he was for at least an hour. So that was life at 5 never can keep a charger. So if you have a spare iPhone charger and a spare Android charger, you want to donate. Right now.
I got some battery.
You want to donate.
I'm at 14%, but I brought my charger with me.
Oh, for the first time. Ooh.
Yeah. But
so slacking.
What D Jones said is actually spot on with that the communication part, because
and I do that to I do that to a lot of people.
Like, I don't really answer my phone. Even my mom get on me like, I don't answer my phone. You could call me and I could be looking at it. I really don't like talking on the phone. I'd rather text.
Yeah. But I'm like that with everybody, though. I'm even like that with you. When you give me rides home, what do I always say? Let me know when you make it home. I do it to everybody. Yeah. Is this a safety issue? Like, let me know you make it home.
Yeah, I think
you just want to make sure that people
like I think being masculine is being challenged now, and it's being labeled. It's getting these different labels put on them. So like, women are so independent now that me opening up holding the door for you is kind of like, I don't need you to open. I don't need you to hold the door for me. You know, that kind of stuff. Like
the smallest stuff.
If we go on a date, like I'm coming to pick you up. Like, well, I don't need you to come pick me up. I'll drive my own car. I'll meet you there.
Well, that may be a safety issue sometimes.
If you're going on a date,
if you don't know that person, but if you've been dating, that's different.
Let me ask a question, Blue. Watch this next question, right? I don't know if you do that, but in this scenario, let's say you have a man, right?
Yeah.
Your man call you one Friday afternoon at like 2
Have you been talking?
It's your man.
So okay, yeah. So.
Anyway.
Well, he did.
He call you at 2:00 and says, hey, honey dumpling, you know, when you get off today, I need you to come to the house. I got a surprise for you. All right, cool. You get home, you think it might be dinner. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like whatever. You assume that. But you walk in the door and he says, hey, we catch a flight in 2 hours. You got 15 minutes, pack a bag. I'm taking you out of town for the weekend. Now, I saw a panel of women talk about this exact subject. Do you think that's controlling?
No. I like that.
Now,
that means they're taking charge.
There was 10 women on this panel. 7 of the 10 felt it was controlling.
Mm-hmm. No,
They said he should tell me in advance so I can pack up what I want. I can get you know what I need. Like you rushing me now. My anxiety's out the roof. Like I'm like damn. But on the other hand, though, a lot of women almost require their man to be spontaneous and take charge.
Well, the reason why I like that is because I'm gonna tell you why I like that. Because one, that means you pay attention 9 times out of 10 to what your woman likes.
Okay.
Because
Well, you never mentioned this. Because it's be on a whim, I'm just trying it. You know what I'm saying?
But even if you mention a trip, let's just say you just mentioned, hey, I need a vacation, no matter where it's at. That means you're paying attention. Because there's sometimes you can mention stuff like, I need a vacation, or I'm craving a salad, and your significant other be like, oh, well, go get that salad down the street. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
but what happens though? Okay, right there we go.
That's what I'm saying, that example. But if you're paying attention,
salad. You say I'm craving salad. The next day he come in there, he gets you this. He bring ranch dressing, and now the woman like, I don't even eat ranch. I'm $1,000. Like you know what I'm saying, like now we like, damn, like you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying. It's crazy.
Yeah. So instead of complaining, sometimes you give suggestions. So like that used to happen to me. One of the ex I used to talk to worked at Wendy's and always gave me
bag. You got that bag. You got that biggie barrel. Wait, I'm sorry.
Always gave me a vanilla icy, knowing I like chocolate, but I didn't.
Oh, he was doing that.
Frosty. Yes. Yes. Huh?
Vanilla icy.
Y'all said frosty.
You said icy. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
She said, "I'm not even take clothes."
Exactly. But anyway, so he always made vanilla frosty, knowing I like chocolate, but I don't think he knew I like chocolate. Wasn't paying attention. Like some people don't pay attention. I like chocolate.
What's my point? Get proof. Go ahead.
So
I thought you didn't like chocolate.
Candy.
See?
Candy.
So he's buying you a vanilla. He's buying you a vanilla frosty, but you like chocolate.
Exactly. So sometimes instead of just like right out getting upset, oh, I wanted the chocolate or something like that, you be like, hey, I appreciate you buying vanilla, but next time can you just give me a chocolate instead? Let's, try it. No.
Let me say, as a man, this is what I would have suggested. I'm not gonna say what you should have did. As a man, though, you have to remember.
That's what I said. Instead of saying you should have, just say next time can.
No, I wouldn't say that.
He's gonna tell you how you could say.
You can say it without even having to say those words. Just be like, next time you driving, you stop at Wendy's, and you'd be like, hey, can I get? You want anything, babe? Large fry, cool. Hey, can I get a large fry and a chocolate frosty? Now he know. Oh shoot! Like she probably like chocolate.
Right.
Let me not give it no more. Because again, men are different. Like we feel like so prideful. Like man, I did that, and then you just boom pop that balloon. Like a perfect example. I got a homeboy, very close friend of mine. One time we got in an argument at his house with his wife. I was there. We had to go to the store to get the rest of the stuff for the food. I said, man, just get her something nice, man. Get her some flowers or something. Just try, just be a man and make her feel good. We go to the flower section. He buys her 2 nice roses, a little bear, and a card. Writes a nice little thug message in the card. Take it back to the house.
You know about them
this is no lie. As soon as you walk in the house, he goes, here, babe, I want to do something for you. I'm sorry. Give her a hug and kiss. Gave her the 2 flowers, the card, and the bear. This is what she said to him. She looked at the stuff and she goes, where are the other 10 roses?
Oh, no.
Oh, wow.
Nah.
To this day, he ain't bought her another flower of any kind. That's what I'm saying. You fuck up something like that.
I can see that.
Would that be considered toxic masculinity?
That's just toxic behavior.
That's just toxic behavior.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's toxic behavior.
In today's society, that will be deemed as her displaying toxic masculinity. Because I guess that's what they expect men to do on a certain level of certain things. Yeah, that's.
Go ahead. You want to read Chris's comment?
Chris, what Chris said? Chris said we have to stop the independent narrative. Somebody just said that up there. She said, "I'm not." Oh, I think that was.
Well, read this and you can read the other one.
She said, "Oh, my bad, Chris. We have to stop the independent narrative because we are distancing ourselves from for the wrong reasons. I just think the word is being used the wrong way." Yeah, I agree. I don't think nobody is fully independent.
But we need more men out there but there are not too many men out there that are doing that. Just saying, pack up, let's go. So I'm just saying that in general.
I think it is. I just don't think men right now
are finding the right woman to do it with.
Yeah, but I don't think men are.
That makes you.
Men are. Women are. You got to understand. Sometimes one apple. Well, how does it say? One bad apple could spoil the whole batch or whatever.
That's true.
So you got to understand. He might have went on a date with 2 or 3 women that displayed these toxic traits. Now he's kind of like, I'm over it. I'm just trying to get some at this point. So now it's going to take him a minute because men they don't. A lot of men. I've been out the dating game for a minute, but even in a marriage, there's a lot of stuff that I won't repeat because I'm not an avid repeater. If I try something twice and it fails, all right, it's good. Even with kids, disciplining, I'm gonna tell you something 2 times. The third time is something coming behind it. I can't keep repeating
It's
myself.
on.
So even when like this is funny. Me and my wife the past 2 days we've been arguing about cooking. So I'll start cooking and
She has to finish it?
No, she'll be trying to direct me to do like so yesterday I did salmon,
You
right?
got the kitchen, baby. You
I-
got the kitchen.
Look, so we did I was doing now
You
at
know how to
this,
cook?
I can't spell cook. But go ahead.
at this point she's supposed to be in the shower and I'm supposed to be cooking. So I'm cooking and I got the sides on and I'm gonna take the salmon out to rinse it off. But instead of me using my hands to rinse it off, I just take the spatula and just hold it and use our filtered water and I rinse it off. Right. This is how I do it when she's not in the kitchen. She just happened to be in the kitchen this time. So I'm about to get ready to do it, and she's like kind of fussing at me because I'm not using my hands. So I said, you know what? You got it. So I put the spatula down and I got Ari and I went upstairs and gave him a bath. Now you can finish cooking. So today it was the same thing. She tried to do this. It's Taco Tuesday. It's not supposed to be this different.
Yeah, it's Taco Tuesday.
Same thing. I said, you want to cook? Because I'll walk out the kitchen. We can eat sandwiches tonight. I'm cool with that. I'm a sandwich guy.
What she said this time?
So she left me alone. I finished cooking.
Yeah, it's kind of like washing dishes. I never forget. I had a huge argument with an ex of mine. Like, I don't believe in making dishwater. Like, I don't believe in making dishwater and all the dishes sit in the water and they sitting there in the water turning orange because the spaghetti sauce. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
That ain't me. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to turn
I
the
don't
water
like
on.
dirty dishwater.
Yeah, I'm making dishwater. Period. I'm gonna have all my dishes in one side of the sink. I'm gonna run the water in the side. I'm gonna wash them with a little thing, get them all soapy, wash rinse them off, and put them down. Like,
me too. I don't do this.
Oh, but our sink is one.
I mean, it's fine. I'll separate. I'll figure it out.
But I
ain't making dishwater.
I take all my dishes out. I rinse them off first because I don't like food floating in my water. If it push comes to shove, I'll put gloves on.
You have a dishwasher?
Do you believe in a dishwasher?
We got one.
Do you use it?
No.
That's what I'm saying. Damn that. If my house have a dishwasher,
I use it once.
Cascade.
Thank you.
I use it
Thank
once,
you.
but we be needing like it's 5 of us in the house,
Yeah, that's cool.
so we be needing like dishes.
30 minutes cycle, you be done.
I mean,
save your elbows.
Especially while you at work, your kids at school. They can be running. They can be done by the time you get back.
So my wife has a little bit of OCD. We usually don't go to sleep with dishes in the sink. So the dishes is kind of made like as the night goes, and sometimes we just be too tired and there be dishes in there. But she'll like run some water, and she'll just have the dishes sitting in there, which I do it sometimes too. But it's like if I'm cooking, and it's like if I'm cooking meat, and you know how you get some of the scrapes, I'll let that soak. But if it's like just dishes, I just rinse them out first. Then I make a little bit of water, and then I'm cleaning it as I go. But I agree. I would rather use the dishwasher. All my houses grew up in, we had dishwashers. I just never used it. But I used to get in trouble though. If I wash the dishes and my mom come in there and she take a spoon and it's a stain on that spoon, I gotta wash everything over again. So
all the dishes?
Yeah. So when my wife, so I do that I don't do that to my wife. But
yes, you do.
I'm very observant. Like when I wash the dishes, if I wash the spoon, I do this. That's how I wash it. She's like, hey, look, my homeboy told me his cousin washed the dishes and didn't do a good job. They had dinner that night. He ended up getting what is it called? Salmonella.
Oh wow.
And ended up getting real sick from that. And had real serious sickness. So that comes from not washing dishes good. Yeah. So, I'm
gonna tell you, I went real fast. I don't want to keep going. One time, I met this woman. This is some years back. I met her. She lived somewhere going towards Dallas. So we met in maybe San Marcos, I guess. And it was like a weird little date, but it was just like she just wanted to see me. So we went to the outlets. But before we went to the outlets, she had me meet her at Walmart. Now, we almost didn't make it to the outlets because of what she did at Walmart, but I'm telling we met at Walmart, and I'm a chivalrous guy. Like I'm not to my own horn, but I believe in opening doors. Like I have a rule, if I'm around, don't touch no door handle. My daughter don't touch no door handles. Just let me open the door. So we were in the store, and she wanted to buy some kind of berries, or raspberries, or some kind of cherry, something she's buying, some kind of fruit. And so when she got it, I went to grab it. You know what I'm saying? And her exact words, she goes, I can carry my own fucking bag. Bed. watch this. Now I'm programmed. This is gonna be the theme wallpaper for this phone. You know what I'm saying? Like, so everything she grabbed, like, I'm walking. You know what I'm saying? She grabbing a couple candles. You know what I'm saying? She only got 2 hands, no basket.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? She grabbing. So now she looking at me like, "Gonna help me?" I was like, "Wait a minute, hold on, baby. Hold on now." Here's the thing. I offered to hold something. You told me I can carry my own effing berries. So I thought that meant you gonna carry everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Xena, warrior princess. You know what I'm saying? Carry all the shit. So we got to the checkout. I paid just to be a, you know what I'm saying? I was like, you know what, I got my card, whatever, paid it. You know what I'm saying? It's like $30-some, whatever. I ain't tripping. But and I paid for the where we ate and everything else that day too. But like I was really like immensely turned off because like I wasn't trying to gain brownie points or anything of the sort. I was just trying to be a gentleman and carry the bag. Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Chivalry.
You know what I'm saying? Because on the other side, what the man wouldn't ever offer to carry anything? Like you would have something bad about to say about him.
Exactly.
He's trying to offer to help you, and you want to take the help. Lick balls. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, definitely lick.
Wow.
You think chivalry is dead?
I think it's not practiced. It's not. You know what I'm saying? That's why it seems dead. Men don't teach men how to do stuff like that. You know what
Exactly.
I'm saying? Like I cringe when I see, you know what I'm saying, like go to the movies or something and you walk into the car and you see, you know, a couple, you know, and a man just, you know, getting his car and she trying to get her door unlocked to get in her car. He just sitting there just trying to get the air on. Like that's weird to me.
No, that's kind of messed up.
You know what I'm saying? Like open the door, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think it's.
Is it the same as they open it from the inside?
The lean over.
The lean over.
Yeah, I only learned that from my uncle. My uncle and his wife. That was the first him, because my grandpa didn't do. But it was older. They kind of was already like, I'm tired of you already.
I have a bar in my head. Go ahead.
They slept in separate rooms. They loved each other, but I think they was done with each other. You know, let's do it for the kids. But my uncle is who I saw opening doors for my aunt, pulling a chair out, and all that kind of stuff. So that's where I learned that from. And I try to practice that with everybody. I haven't dated a lot of women anyway, but especially my wife. So my wife was actually able to be around my uncle when he was alive to witness all this too. So she knew where I got it from. So even though when we was dating, I didn't have the I guess you would say the look of a gentleman. I had ponytail, do-rag, tall tee.
If you ain't seen that old
Dickies,
picture
Chucks,
of D,
I look like
he had the press and
thug.
curl like Snoop Dogg.
I look like a thug, and when I met her dad, that's the face that he looked at me like in disgust, like, my daughter that brought one of these niggas home. Yeah, but he actually.
What do you
He
say?
actually said that we was in the hospital when my wife was getting ready to have the twins. He was like, "You just had to get my baby pregnant. Why you didn't talk to that other one over
But
there?"
y'all was pregnant. I mean, I was
I
married.
was married already. Yeah,
I was married
he was
already,
like, "Why
so-
you didn't talk to that other one over there?" Talking about my wife's sister. She's crazy. No, I would never. No, I got
tried
the right
to
one.
pawn you off to the sister.
I got the right one. But he I seen it from him too with my mother-in-law, the chivalry. So like I said, it's not dead. I just don't think it's in. We don't see it a lot because of what D. Jones. Just the story you just said.
I'll say this too, like women, and just don't think so much on surface because it's deeper than some of y'all gonna get anyway. But that's what it is. Women, you can't expect or want a man to provide if you don't let that man be a man.
Mm-hmm. Bar.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Let that marinate like the ham at Thanksgiving. Go ahead.
Women are too independent for chivalry. You think so? I can't speak for it because I've been out the
independent. I had this kind of week. Independent and self-sufficient are two different things. Independent means to be by yourself alone. Right. That word makes men run. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
be self-sufficient.
Black independent.
Be self-sufficient. Be self-sufficient. You can do it, but you want help.
We blame Webby for that.
Who?
Webby. Y'all listen to him though.
I don't listen to him.
No, I'm saying when he said it, y'all listen to it. Y'all ran with it.
When they say IND, I'm like LEAVE.
Lonely. That's what that means.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it,
buying roses.
A lot of multiple colors.
That's their man. You know
she got a vibrator. She got a
multiple colors.
You know what I'm saying? That's what they going. So I got my toy.
It's not
Vanessa's-
dead.
yeah.
My 7-year-old opens the car door for me. He was taught by his uncle doing it for his wife, and now it's a reaction for him to open and close my door before he gets in. Hey, look, I love my wife to death. I'll die for her. I'll kill for her. I don't open the door, her car door, every time.
What? Okay, so
Like
not the
sometimes,
interview, but what determines when you do open it? When
sometimes
it's raining
it's,
outside or summer.
like if we got all the kids, like kids is the priority. I'm trying to get the kids in.
Mhm.
So if we go grocery shopping, y'all get in the car, I load the car up.
So you don't think how many boys you got? Two? One?
I got 2, a 1-year-old and a 9-year-old.
So do you think that I'm just asking? You know what I'm saying? Your door. Do you feel like it would benefit the 2 boys to see daddy open the door for mom?
Oh no, they definitely see me.
But
do
they only
it.
see it
I'm just
sometimes.
saying, every time we go, I don't do it. Sometimes it's let's say
You're rushing because, like you said, you got kids.
yeah, sometimes like if we at Walmart, and she's not the one to be like, oh my god, you didn't open the door for me. Like she knows, okay, boom. My antennas is up already because of the traffic and shit is going on anyway. So I don't even want y'all out the car. I unlock the car. I pop the trunk here, babe. Here go the keys. Go ahead and get the kids in the car. I'm gonna load the groceries up. That's how we do it.
Mhm.
When we go out on a date, I'm opening everything.
Man, what works for y'all? Works for y'all. You know what I'm saying? I also okay. So when you're cooking dinner, when she lets you cook the dinner without, you know what I'm saying, without critique, right? Do you
Is it really
again, I'm prefacing by saying this, like
if I think it's necessary if you start off like that.
right, if you're gonna start that way, you got to continue that behavior, and also like there are some women who do require a man to open her door, like that to them they need that chivalry, like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, that's a might be a type of love language for them, you know what I'm saying, like acts of service.
But
like,
I do it for just
Random people.
It's just people in general,
Strangers,
just just doing it. I think one time I didn't do it
No.
for her, she called me out on it.
No.
She like, you didn't even open the door for me.
No. Time out. Random people, I agree. People he know, you ain't never.
I have
no
opened the door
for
for
me.
you.
You don't open no doors for me.
Stop it.
Lies.
I don't open
The
the car
lies
door.
he tells.
I definitely don't open
But
the
we're
car
not
door
car
for
doors.
her.
I'm talking regular doors. Lies he tells. Don't let this man fool you
Hey,
on.
so my
live.
cousin Nate told me a story. He's at the gas pump with his girlfriend,
Nate the Great.
ex or whatever she was, right? She's big into fitness, so they're at the pump, and she's pumping the gas, and he's outside
That's
on
wild.
the phone, right?
Wow.
And the dude comes up to him and says, "Hey, bro, you really gonna let your girl pump that gas?" He said,
I agree.
"She squats 400 in the gym. This is nothing."
That was his answer.
That's what he told him.
Yeah, I totally disagree. I don't give a damn. That's what I'm saying. Like that's why we had these issues, right? Like, dog. Like
I expect that from Nate though.
dog,
That's
She-
Nate.
Well, I mean, even if you expect it from him, she's letting it happen. We
I
can't be
know.
mad.
yeah, we
She
can't be
is.
mad. But I guess what I'm trying to say is though, like again, like it's a circle of the same events. You know what I'm saying? Men ain't taught to do certain things, so women never get introduced to these things. Like that's what I'm saying. Like my
What if
daughter
he doesn't want to see if you're gonna say something and you don't say nothing? So he's like,
Yeah, but we gotta stop.
I ain't gotta do it.
I guess you have to. I don't know. On one hand, I want to say we gotta stop doing stuff expecting a parade
Right.
for it. But on the other hand, I understand that sometimes because men are so shunned and bashed that they need that
Once in a while, yeah.
Like, hey, I'm so happy. Like, thank you so much for doing that. Like,
Right.
if you sit 10 women down, like most women in the world, their love language, one of their top 3 love languages, because they take off your top 3. Most women have acts of service as a top love language.
Mm-hmm.
So that
Exactly.
goes in that category, opening doors. You know what I'm saying? Like carrying a bag, like that's acts of service. So most women really deep down require this and need this to feel loved from their mate. But they hone themselves and pride themselves on being so independent that they won't just shut up and receive it.
Yeah. Damn. I ain't.
See, that's why we call it, this mic is talking. Cause
Yeah, my bad.
So,
I get to
definitely.
talking.
Since Blue is the are you good with me calling you a female, or you want to be called a woman,
I'm a female. I'm a woman.
or a girl, or a chick, or DJ?
Oh.
But as far as like chivalry goes, as far as like if you go out on a date with a dude and he doesn't open the door for you, is that an automatic like
Deal breaker?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's automatic deal breaker, but I do put me on notice.
Okay.
To see other stuff.
Would you ever bring it up?
Would I bring it up? Of course. But not just straight out like you didn't open up the door. Bring it up when you at that get to know each other phase. Like how were you raised? Tell me a little bit about your background. Okay. Type stuff. And that's when it's like, okay.
I can see that. I think what you say? I appreciate the gesture. It does what you say? It does not what?
Go ahead, I brought it back up.
It does not come unexpected, so sometimes it catches me off guard, but it's not a deal breaker. I don't like I know you said you don't expect the parade or anything like that, but if I'm going to the store, right, and I open up the door, if it's a woman coming behind me and I hold the door for her and she doesn't say thank you, that bothers me.
But why? That's what I'm saying. Like you so you're in. So you are one of those men who needs that, like,
no, I don't need it.
Acknowledgement.
I it's not that I don't need it. It's that it's a respect. In my opinion, it's a respect thing. It's respect. Like if
your wife didn't say thank you, would it bother you?
If my wife didn't say thank you, I know she's thankful.
If she didn't say thank you, if she didn't say thank you, baby, would it bother you?
No.
So then this is
it wouldn't bother me because I know she's thankful. She doesn't have to say it. She expressed thankfulness throughout our years. So I know
does that remain consistent? If you give your kids candy and they just take it and eat it and don't say thank you, do you be like, do you know they're thankful?
Yeah.
So you don't require them to say thank you either?
I don't require it, but my kids say it though. But I don't require it.
So they never have to say thank you?
I ain't gonna say they never have to. Like, so for a piece of candy, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna
Lyric. If you watching shit.
Look, say for instance,
say thank you.
Say okay, right. So we taking them to Universal Studios for their birthday.
Okay.
I expect you to show some appreciation for that because we didn't have to do that. I'm not gonna take candy and beat them over the head with it. But they do say thank you for everything I do. I don't have to say, hey, thank you. I don't have to remind them to be like, thank you. They just know that they was raised though. So I didn't have to implement that in them. Their grandma did, both their grandmas did, my wife did. So it's kind of like an automatic thing. But if we would have said, hey, yo, we're going to Universal Studios, and they'd be like, oh yeah, that's cool. And that was it. Yeah, I got a problem because me and your mom put out hard-earned money together to do this. A 25-cent candy, no, it's not 25 cents no more, but a piece of candy. Yeah, I
get what you're saying.
I wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't get offended or mad because they didn't.
Y'all do the yes sir, no sir, yes or no man?
Man, I'm not really big on that though. I'm not big on it. I'm not forcing them to say it.
I feel you.
Because I think they can say it because that would be a sign of respect, right? But they can say yes sir, no sir, and still disrespect you. So I'd rather them show me. I'm big on the action of it.
Oh, you say what's your 9-year-old son name?
Deshaun.
You say Deshaun. He's like, what? Like,
oh hell no.
Oh God.
Because the response is what? And he say, sir. That's how they fix it. I don't have to, but I don't even have to like antagonize them. If I say Trinity, and she say, huh? And I say, Trinity, sir. That's an easy correct.
But you're requiring sir.
But
that's what I'm saying. You're requiring a sir
towards other people. He's not requiring it towards other people.
You're requiring it towards you. I'm gonna ask.
Yeah, like if I'm calling them, yeah. But if I say, hey, did y'all do your homework today? They be like, yeah. I'm not gonna be like, what? Oh, yes, sir.
I mean, yeah.
But if it like I say, if you was to say something to them, like if you would say, hey, my name is da 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 da. Hey, like if they was to say, for instance, be on the podcast or something like that, or you at the house, right? Because you've been to the house before. If you be at the house and you say, and I say, hey, get D Jones a cup so he can pour that, and they get you a cup and you say, thank you. If they don't say you welcome, that's not showing you respect as a guest. But
like you get them a cup and they get you a cup and you said thinking they say yep, you just be cool with it.
now,
But
look,
my son,
look,
my son.
this is
Deshaun.
this is what it's not me. Me personally, I've never told them you better say yes sir and no sir to me when that's me. That's how I feel like requiring it is. And now when something is understood,
it's understood.
It's understood. So they might have learned from their grandma, seeing their grandma and grandpa interact, or seeing my wife interact with somebody, or my wife even telling them X, Y, and Z. And then they automatically be like, oh, okay, so when my dad says this. And even sometimes if I was to say, if we getting ready to leave, I say, Trinity. And she say, huh? I say, get down here. I'm not even thinking about correcting her. Get down here at that point. So it's not all the time. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to whoop them for it. I'm not going to discipline them like
But we can talk about this topic for hours and hours and hours, especially these two, since they are parents. I'm not a parent. So
you need to be a parent so you can join in these contexts and conversations and stuff.
I need a husband first. So anyway.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend you.
Yes. So, but our next topic for tonight, I saw this video where these waitresses, black waitresses.
So we're gonna say the TikTok one for the
yes.
Okay.
So these black waitresses was talking about how black people, African Americans, do not like to tip. A lot of us do not like to tip, to the point where they even had to steal. And the way they steal is, let's say your bill comes out to $20.50, and you give the lady $30. What she do is take something off your bill, charge you for that, and keep the difference in her pocket, and then give you your change, so they can make a tip.
See, that's not paying attention to your bill.
Because they know that people aren't tipping. But how would you not pay attention to your bill?
If they could take something off?
No, what they do is they give you the bill, right? They give you the bill. Let's say your bill is $20.30. You said you give me $30, right? What I do is I'll take maybe some coin out when I go punch it in to pay your bill, and I'll keep the difference and then give you your change with your regular bill, so you won't see me take it off.
I see.
If that makes sense. And I want to know your thoughts on.
Well, first of all, if I find
black people not tipping,
that, I'm somebody's getting the ass whooped.
That's if you find out.
But yeah, you stealing money from me at that point.
But you ain't gonna find out.
If you don't,
she said she used to work there, not anymore.
I said if I do find out.
Yeah.
Like not tipping?
In general. Well, that stereotype that they have about black people not tipping in general.
It's definitely a stereotype.
It is.
Yeah, definitely a stereotype. I tip, you know what I'm saying? Now, I might, you know what I'm saying? Now, I ain't gonna lie though, if I get like some of these places now, like they'll add gratuity already.
Yeah.
If you already added it,
I'm not tipping.
That
makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? You have a tip. You know what I'm saying? You actually took it out already. It's in the total. But I do believe, you know, like most waitresses and waiters, they do like it's almost like a commission type job. They want to serve as many tables as possible because most of their money comes from tips.
Yes.
And so I do think that, you know, everybody should be paid for their services. So I definitely would tip.
I agree with that. And I know a lot of things that's popping up, especially on my TikTok nowadays, is people expressing on how they do not like to split the bill when they go out in groups. They feel like you should just pay for what you order.
It depends on who I go out
with. But yeah, I don't know, because you know, usually when somebody buys an appetizer, hey, I got these wings, get one. You ate a wing.
Yeah.
That's true. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's different when it's an appetizer compared to the main course.
You ate a macaroni and cheese ball. You know what I'm saying?
I know. I'm not saying it don't. I'm saying like if we just had appetizers all night, we split appetizers. Yes, we can split.
So you ate a macaroni and cheese ball. You know what I'm saying? Like,
those are the best.
You ate calamari.
We can split that. But if it's an appetizer, if we are sharing an appetizer, that's different. But if it's a main course and you ordering lobster and all I got was just a hamburger, that's a big price difference.
This is why when we go out in groups, like I always like for example, my brother got married September and July. We went to his bachelor weekend in New Orleans, and like we were in a big group, like 12 of us guys out there. We went to like some, you know, pretty expensive restaurants, and so like and times we literally say, okay, cool, how much is the bill total? Everybody just split it.
Yeah,
period.
Right.
Other times, like at the first, like we went to this place, and this one dude was like, hey, I'm gonna put the whole bill on my credit card. All y'all just cash at me what y'all's individual meals cost.
You know I can see that.
You know what I'm saying? So
but you still pay for your own meal though, technically.
You pay for your own meal, you know what I'm saying? But like, you know what I'm saying? Or sometimes people be like, okay,
I pay the bill, y'all do the tips.
I'm Janae and I'm your waiter for the night. Welcome to you know, Wings and Things and yada yada yada. You want the appetizers, right?
That's
so what happens is when you
that's probably Travis.
when you say like you don't want any appetizers, sometimes a person will be like, hey, put those wings on my tab. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll just take the appetizer. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's cool.
Or sometimes people would do, like you said, someone would pick the whole bill and they say, y'all just pay the tip.
I ain't gonna lie, when I got it like that, we might go out to Ruth Chris. I'm like, hey, y'all give whatever y'all want. I got it.
I never ate at Ruth Chris.
I'm just pay it.
Let me know what days you got like that. I'm coming out.
It's coming. You know what I'm saying? But I mean,
I also coming out. I know. Let me know. I'm coming out.
Because when this come, I'm going to teach me. I'm gonna tell you. You know, but I will say too. You know what I'm saying? When this blow up, I'm gone. But I will say this too. Chad Johnson, the ex-NFL player. One thing I love, he's one of my favorite people on this earth. But like, one thing I liked about him is, he said whenever he goes out to this day, whenever he goes out, whatever the meal cost, he matches it in tip. You know what I'm saying? Up to a certain amount. So if he takes all his family out to an expensive place and spends six G's, he probably ain't tipping in 6 G's, but he might give the waiter too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but if he goes out and spends $856, they get an $856 tip as well. Like, and I want to be at that level because again, like, it's a service. Like, you know how much like you have to do, memorizing orders, bringing all these different stuff, all these demands. Like, that's a service, and like, on your feet all day doing it. I think they should be paid for their service the same way I would pay I got to cut my grass or fix my plumbing.
If parents could tip educators, you think they would?
No.
Nah.
You don't think they'd cash app you something for watching their bad kid?
Nah.
I know Johnny is. I know Johnny is
like
bad.
Supposed to do that.
I know Johnny is bad. You watch him every day. Give me that cash app. I'm gonna tip you.
That's a setup. Because as soon as you do something, I'm like, Miss Lewis, I actually sent them a cash app right here. Like, nah.
Can I get that $20 back? You accuse my son.
I'm gonna tell the principal. I already don't want to give it back, but listen, I was sent this.
So tipping, right? So I tip, but I don't tip all the time.
It depends on your service.
Not really.
Is that what you base it off of?
We've tipped before, and the service wasn't like great, but the tip wasn't just a great tip. You know what I'm saying? So nowadays they got this thing called gratuity, right? That they throw in there.
Yeah, he mentioned that.
Yeah, I just put 0. Don't add shit to my. Let me do whatever I'm gonna do. Don't add shit to my stuff. So, what like D. Jones said when we went to Puerto Rico, that's how we split everything up. So we went out to eat. Or we'll take a Uber or something like that. Say the Uber was like $30. All right, somebody would be like, all right, I'll pay for it. Don't worry about it. I got it this time. So the next time somebody else pay for the Uber, we go out to eat. They'd be like, oh, you told her. I think we went out to this restaurant, and I told her came out to dinner or something, and Jarvis just paid, and he was like, y'all just cash at me $50. Boom, 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 boom.
How many y'all was it?
It was 5 of us. But the reason why nobody was tripping because
that's $150.
I was gonna say that.
I'm
the reason why nobody was
$250.
Nobody was tripping because so the next go around, he's not fitting the bill. Somebody else. But the money is
the other
everybody is gonna be down. Everybody is gonna at that time we was we was out there. You know what I'm saying? So
they were out there.
So it wasn't really it didn't hurt nobody.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? All hundreds.
Yeah,
no card, only cash.
But, so because the Ubers out there and taxis out there was kind of expensive. But the second day we started getting taxi cab dudes' numbers and calling them to come get us. So our cab was cut in half because we kept using them as a service. So we were just basically we didn't want nobody to argue over money. We didn't want that to be the subject because we was there to have fun. So if we was going to the club and we got bottles, and I forgot how much the bottles came out to. So I was like, he was like, in order to get this section, you gotta have about this many bottles. I was like, all right, I'll buy a bottle. And then Jarvis bought a bottle, and then his cousin bought a bottle. Boom, we got the section. Once we got in there, boom, the other 2 homeboys bought the other bottle. So everybody participated in it. So nobody felt like I'm doing too much because everybody did it. But we split to the best of our ability. We split everything. Everybody participated. Nobody was sitting there like, hey bro, I ain't even got it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But it wasn't invited 9 times out of 10 if they ain't got it.
Oh no, definitely. We knew they weren't gonna have it. They wasn't going to Puerto Rico.
Exactly.
We probably wasn't gonna be able to afford to go.
Nah.
So, I mean, it is what it is.
It is.
We have fun. That's for a shit show.
Oh, definitely. He called us. He left the voicemail joint text in our podcast group chat talking about, I love y'all. If I die, I love y'all.
I was
Y'all the
drunk.
best of my
I
life.
was drunk from the airport
Drunk.
to the airport.
That's how you know. But we say the best topic for last. This is again.
Chris said the company should pay for that, so he must be talking about the waitress,
Yeah.
the tips and stuff like that.
So we say, I guess, the best topic for last. This is again presented by Mr. D Live at 5 himself. We want to talk about this topic, and I'm gonna have. I want to hear your thoughts first on this topic before he gives his thoughts.
Okay.
Before he gives his thoughts,
Okay, then
he gave
the
his
pressure's on. Then
he gave his thoughts on our TikTok page. So make sure you go ahead and follow Where You Ask Podcast on TikTok and go ahead and stitch that video. We want to know your thoughts on this particular topic or subject. It says
Like you can stitch the video to where it plays like a
part of it, and then you go ahead and say, "Yo."
It's like a reaction video.
Okay, though.
Kind of like reaction, but you give your thoughts on it.
Yeah.
Instead of letting the whole video play.
So with everything that was going on, I had thought about something. The question was, what is something that you hold true that you're willing to stand on and suffer consequences like a Kanye West
or Colin Kaepernick type thing?
Yeah.
Damn. Let me see. Hold on.
That's a deep one.
Ask me the question one more time.
What is a truth that you will stand on that you're willing to suffer the consequences for?
I know what I want to say. I'm trying to figure out how I want to say it. It has to do with relationships. I gotta put like this. So this is what I stand on. I feel like no matter what tax bracket the man is in, no matter how much money he has or doesn't have, I feel like the man should be the head of the house and be the lead. If I'm gonna put a visual with it, if I walk in the room with my lady and I say, "Here's a dress and here's a pair of pants, which one do you want to wear?" She has to pick the dress because I'm not wearing one.
Right.
You know, a lot of women would reply with, "I can wear pants too," but in this situation, you have to wear a dress because I'm a man. I refuse to wear one. So what that means is like I need a woman who's going to allow me to be the lead. You know what I'm saying? Like not necessarily like just let me control her. That's not what I'm saying, but just let me be the man. Like I said earlier, like
people get that confused.
Yeah,
being
people,
the lead and controlling.
People. Like I said earlier, the bar I dropped when I said like a lot of women require, you know what I'm saying, and want a man to provide, but they have to let a man be a man. And so yeah, a lot of women gonna run from that, but LB, go ahead.
Do you have another truth that you stand on besides the one you put on our TikTok page? That's a hard one. I'm still thinking on mine. So if you don't see me answer, it's because I'm still thinking about it. Like,
I think one of the truths that I'm willing to stand on is that I guess it's similar to what I posted, but I believe that us as African Americans in the United States of America, we have a lot of issues, but one of our issues is we have an identity crisis. We don't know who we are as a people. Like as a whole, you might have some individuals here and there that have an idea of who they are. I think as a whole, African Americans, Black people, Negroes, whatever you want to call them, I think we have an identity crisis. And to tie it in what I said, I think part of revealing of our identity is going to sound hurtful to other people. I think it's no other way around it. I don't think it's a way that you can even explain it or break it out without hurting.
I have one too. I got another one to talk about right now. Ooh.
Chris says Black people are on reparations.
Ooh. From what I heard, Chris, reparations was already given out, but it was given out to all the slave owners who lost slaves in the war because they lost property.
I got one right here. I'm gonna start right now. Watch this one.
Bars.
Here we go. So the question was again something that I believe. Say it one more time. Let me share the question one more time.
A truth that you are willing to stand. A truth that you believe in that you're willing to stand on and suffer the consequences.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, I believe that. My personal opinion, but I really have belief for sure. I think that Black people and Black culture. I know all people do this of all different ethnicities, but I think Black people and Black culture almost make marijuana a staple in the Black community.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that we are hurting ourselves and creating much detriment than anything positive with that green thing. I believe that you know, what you do is what you do. But I feel like, you know what I'm saying, we make it almost like a, you know, black people are ridiculed and called lame for not doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
passage,
it's like a rite of passage. Like, you know what I'm saying, teenagers doing it, kids doing it. Like, they convinced the NFL to not even test for it no more. Like, I think we're hurting ourselves more than benefiting ourselves with that. For sure.
I think it's definitely used the wrong way. If it's used the right way, I'm all for
I mean,
it.
medically, you know, whatever. Like, sure,
Yeah.
I know the doctor prescribe it. Like,
But if you're just doing it because you're trying to fit in,
or just doing it to
because
try to calm nerves, or doing it to cope with something else. Like, if
it's not gonna help.
any substance, alcohol, marijuana, coke, any substance you're using to try to cope with issues, that means you have bigger issues than you want to admit.
Yeah,
in my opinion. So
yeah, I believe that because from what I hear, a lot of people that smoke trying to escape reality, so they rather go into this other dimension versus dealing with the root problem. And you might, if you do that, you might not have to get high. You might not have to alter your reality to be happy.
That's true.
So
That is. I will get back to mine once I figure out what mine is.
what?
I
You
don't
ain't
know.
got one? All
No.
these things going around? You ain't got no truth
No.
that you stand on?
I might have a few, but
I got another one.
word it.
I got another one that's real controversial.
Here he go.
I got it.
And another one on that
See,
on that one
see,
causes
Chris is
issues with religion and nonsense.
I believe this is my personal opinion. This has nothing to do with where you ask podcast or if it's Mike.
Yeah, put that on
this
there.
Is my personal belief, and it goes along with what Chris was saying.
is he saying religion is nonsense, or are you saying like people saying that it's nonsense?
No, I don't know, but I do believe that like I said, it's gonna be controversial. I believe that church does a lot of harm versus good.
Oh, I agree. Okay, I agree with that.
And it's coming from a religious aspect. So from the religious aspect, church does a lot of harm. But from a biblical aspect, the Bible will, in my opinion, give us a way out. Because in my opinion, the Bible is an instruction manual. It's basically telling you what to do and what not to do. And it has stories to go along with them. Whether you believe in the Moses or any of those, I always tell people when they try to argue me, oh, they ain't found no grave of Moses, or they ain't found no. I said, what was the story about? What did you get out of that story? What was they don't nowhere in the Bible they say worship me anyway. That's why there's no pictures or no anything of that, because it's not about the man or the woman. It's about the lesson. What lesson did you get out of the story of Moses or the story of Samson? What did you get out of those lessons? If people is focusing on a person too much, and they missing the whole lesson. So that's when I say religion, I'm talking about the and you and I think that's an LB moment for me. If I go to church and he start preaching like that, I'm walking out.
Why?
I think he's lying.
Well, and
yeah, I think at that point it's a show now. It's entertainment. It's not actually
I feel like when some of the pastors, like my pastor, try to relate to the young people, which I'm not saying don't relate to the young people when
they still have youth pastors?
But when I'm the only young person, it's like, don't relate to me, relate to all the older people that's there.
You're the youngest?
I'm the youngest in my church.
Oh,
the whole church?
The whole church.
Dang.
The second youngest would have to be like in their 50s. No.
Oh.
That's a church.
Yeah, people are hurting people. Mm-hmm. I mean, when you think about it, most of the wars that has been started, and especially back in the day, was over religion. My religion is better than yours. The conquistadors, all them people that brought slaves over and did all those horrendous things, it was worshiping Jesus. So that's the religious aspect of it. If they wasn't following a religion and they was just following the Bible, slavery wouldn't have happened.
Couple comments right here. I'm gonna just read them. Somebody said church and religion. Yes, I agree, but that's because people.
My bad.
It's all good. Tie themselves to tradition and religion. And the men who lead them, we weren't meant to worship and praise pastors. Another person said, I wouldn't say more harm than good, but it does do harm. People are hurting people. So.
The Bible contradicts itself over and over. Having a relationship with God is the only thing people that should spend their time with. Memorizing words will not get you to heaven.
One thing I will say too in response to that is not necessarily in response. I'll just say this. I think people are definitely products of their environment. Like for me personally, I grew up in church. My great grandparents came to San Antonio literally to preach a revival. My family's from New York.
Okay.
My family got to San Antonio because my great grandparents came here to preach and liked it and stayed, and my family kind of migrated behind them. So all I've known growing up is church. I don't make myself, better than no person, but I do tend to agree that people mess up by worshiping the man
and not
behind
God.
the podium and not God.
Right.
I agree. My mom says that all the time.
Yeah, and also, I mean, because they're humans just like us. They make mistakes like us. You know what I'm saying? So I just I don't know. That's my thought behind it. But I also say this too. When you are grown, I know a guy, a very popular dude here in the city. You know what I'm saying, played in the NFL. He actually came on our show when I made the flyer for him. I actually put a cross necklace on the flyer. And I said to him, he's like, man, dope flyer. He goes, but I'm not a Christian anymore. I was totally shocked. Shit. So I had just to respect him. I went on there and changed it to a football chain because he played football. And when he came on the show, he told us the story. Basically, he grew up in church. His parents were always in church and everything else. He got grown. He went on a mission trip to Jerusalem, and he said just that changed his whole perspective. And that happens. A lot of people get grown and they have their own way of doing their own research or finding out information for themselves, and then they whatever. And then the third thing I'll say is a lot of times the reason why people go so against religion and church is because of hurts, and not necessarily from church, just hurt in general. I know a guy right now, he refuses to believe in religion because he'll say stuff like, well, if God is so great and powerful, why would he allow a kid to get cancer and die?
Yeah.
I don't have an answer for that.
Right.
I know a guy I used to work with. He was like, my mom was in the greatest shape of her life, greatest health. She was skinny, super small. I'm 14 years old in 9th grade, and I get told that my mom had a massive heart attack and died when I was at school. I don't have an answer for that. You know what I'm saying? But people go through these hurtful things, and then they rebel against what they knew to be church and religion. So all these different things. I just say people got to just kind of, find their own way, and I just pray for everybody regardless.
I know an artist down here. When I first started playing his music on U3, he was a Christian artist. That's how I met him, and now he switched. He just does, I guess, regular rap music, and he talked about it. He said
secular
music. He said that he felt like if he wasn't doing music to, help somebody out, but just doing it just to do it, then that wasn't his mission. So he felt like he was just doing Christian music just to do it. He wasn't doing it to preach or to help people out or to minister. So he decided to leave that alone.
I had on our show we pray before every show starts, and we pray at the end of every episode.
And I love that. That's why every time he's on our show or at our events, I get you to pray.
But the last episode, it might have been 2 episodes ago, I had a woman on the show. She'd been on it before, but she was basically being a special guest co-host for myself because B King couldn't make it. And same thing I always do. So I pray, and in my prayer now, I pray for everybody individually in the room in the prayer.
Yeah.
And this time and the time before that, when she was a guest, she's been crying. The first time she did it, she walked out the studio crying, got herself together and came back in. This time she was sitting next to me at the table, started crying, and she spoke on it. She was like, she's like, I don't know, something about when you pray, it just hits me different, and I hate when you pray for me. And at first I thought she was going a different way, but she basically saying she hates it because she doesn't know how to deal with the emotions. And this other rapper who was in the or artist rather who was in the building, he was like, what you experiencing is breakthrough. Basically something in your spirit is tugging at you that you need to figure out. It may not be church, it may not be religion, but something you're battling, some type of something. Right. And you need to figure out, get a grasp on it because it's affecting you. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I believe in prayer, because sometimes just being uplifted in prayer can help you, see something that you might not have seen before. You know what I'm saying? Right. Help you get to a place spiritually that you might not have been able to reach before.
They're supposed to be bringing that back to schools, from what I've heard. I don't know.
That's good. I think Chris said. So Chris said.
Which one? Go up.
No, you don't have to go up. I think he said the Bible contradicts itself. He was a pastor for 5 years.
Yeah.
When I know. So me personally, I would say I used to be a what they would call a Christian, right? I don't consider myself a Christian no more, but I still believe in the Word of God, right? I just don't put the label Christian on it. I think a lot of people leave church, and a lot of people get turned away is because. So I got turned away a few years ago, maybe because I was going to church, but I wasn't going for the right reasons. I was just going because it was tradition to go. My uncle, when he was alive, the only how I could play basketball with him and his sons is if I went to church.
Wow.
So I love basketball.
Yeah.
So I went to church, right? So I ended up getting saved and everything. I went to church, right? Ever since I was 16, I was like actually going to church and learning stuff. It wasn't until I was adult and I ran across a video on YouTube, right? And it was this camp called IUIC. It was an Israelite camp. And they was reading scriptures that I've never heard before. And I'm like, what are they reading? So I got the Bible app on my phone. So I'm following along with them. I'm like, so this is all new to me. So what turned me away from the church is when I went to my pastor and asked him about this and stuff like that. It's like they didn't want to answer the question. And then we had a guest pastor there. This is what actually made me start going. When he started preaching, he said, "We ought to be lucky, because we the Gentiles and we got grafted in." And in my head, I'm talking to myself, but I actually said out loud, I said, "Gentiles," and everybody like looks at me, like turn around, look at me, and then this dude said, "Yeah, man, we the Gentiles." So I said, so I got up and I walked out. And I actually got emotional. I cried and called my mom. I said, "Man, I don't know what to do." And she said, "Well, talk to him. See if he'll sit down and talk to you." So I got his information. Never got a chance to talk to him. So now I'm like, okay, well, I got a pastor. I could chop it up with him. Didn't get nowhere with him. So my whole thing was, how come I've been in church since I was 16 and I never heard of an Israelite before? And that's a major part of the Bible. Through the Old Testament and New Testament. It's all through there. Why we never hear about things. And then that's when I came to my opinion. I can't speak for all churches, but the church I was going to, it felt like they was cherry picking what they wanted to talk about. Because when we got tattoos, they harped on the tattoo, right? But they skip over 2 verses up or 2 verses down. It says don't eat pork. But Christ died for that. He died for that, but he didn't die for you to get tattoos. So then I'm like, God, they was. So then you start reading and you like, okay, so these people in the Bible had rules that they had to follow, which were the commandments. So then when you start telling, so my confusion came in, and I stopped going to church when I said, so if the laws are done away with, and Christ died for all our sins, what are we asking for forgiveness for? Because the definition of sin is breaking the commandments. But if the commandments are done away with, how can I ask for forgiveness for something that's already done away with? So nobody can answer that question. So then I was like, well, in my opinion, if I'm going to go to hell, I'm going to send myself. I'm not going to let you take me. So I started doing my own research, and I basically just stopped. I've learned so much since I stopped, but I think that's the religion part of it, of church, because I do think church saves people's lives as far as taking them off the streets and giving them different opportunities. Being a cornerstone in the community, some churches are real heavy community. I think it's some good things in the church aspect, in just the church, but I think when you implement a religion tradition, I think that's when we mess up. Like for instance, yes, Halloween. Are we supposed to celebrate Halloween? No. Christmas. Are we supposed to celebrate Christmas? Thanksgiving. Everybody know the history of Thanksgiving.
Well, I know you talked about it on the show, but for people who don't know, how is it in your household since you're not religion like that? You don't go to church, but your wife does, and your kids, they celebrate all that, but you don't. How do y'all navigate that?
So my kids know where I stand, and I don't lie to my kids.
Do your wife know too? What question?
Well, I stand, yeah, of course. Like, so just to be transparent, I'm gonna tell you how strong religion can be. Me and my wife almost got divorced though. That's how strong religion can be. When you challenge challenge tradition, you can break that can break up households.
So what was you challenging? If you don't mind me asking. Do you remember?
I challenge everything.
Well,
Everything that
But what was the main
that
one
I
that
learned.
almost caused it?
So the first
breakup?
first thing was the holidays. So traditionally, we get together doing Thanksgiving, we get together doing Christmas, we get together doing New Year's. Valentine's Day was big.
Your family gets together for Valentine's Day?
No, I'm saying that's a big holiday for women, for some, right? But then, so I got big onto what's the origins of these holidays. None of these holidays, the origins of it have to do with Christ. None of it. Christmas doesn't have nothing to do with Christ. Because I'm assuming y'all know Christ wasn't born on December 25th, right?
Well, yeah, if you read where he was born in the
the main
scenery,
the
it wasn't
scenery
even cold.
wasn't-
It wasn't. Yeah.
So, but so
I mean,
just
Florida ain't cold. I'm good.
but
he wasn't in no Florida.
He
I know
wasn't-
in Florida, but I'm saying, go ahead.
Yeah,
he
no,
wasn't
I'm with
born. He wasn't born in December, but so this is where the paganism come in. King Nimrod was born in December 25th. The tradition for king worshiping him was to get a tree, deck it in gold, fasten it in place, because his mom, from history, his mom said her son was reincarnated as a tree. You want to worship my son? That's how you do it. That's what the Christmas came about. So it just sounds like Christ, like, because it's Christmas.
Well, again, so I didn't even know that was a thing until you said that. But I would say this too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? I would say this, right? So again, I strongly believe that people are products of their environment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? On a whole different degree, like we live in San Antonio. If you don't know, San Antonio is 63% Hispanic.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Black women get mad every single time they see a black man with a Hispanic woman. He's been in Little Mexico his whole life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like he gonna like some tacos, enchiladas, and Mexican women. Like that's what happens. But the same thing with the holidays, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? With the holidays, I look at it like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're a kid and you grow up and go to kindergarten, and Santa Claus, like, until you learn that, for everybody, kids here watching my band, trying to read nobody, until you learn the truth about Santa Claus, you know what I'm saying? You believe in Santa Claus. When you get older, you start believing in this and this and this. Like, for me, at 37 years young, I ain't old, you know what I'm saying? 37 years young, I would say that I use the holidays as a time to just embrace my family. You know what I'm saying? Like, the whole takeoff situation this morning has, refocused my attention on a lot of important things.
Yeah.
If nothing else, when I know my brother and his wife are flying into town, my brother from Minnesota coming in here with his girlfriend, like, families coming together, whether we're saying Merry Christmas or we're just saying Happy Saturday. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the time for me to kind of hone in and just embrace my family, because you never know, a year from now, 2023, some people in this room might not be here. And so that's what I use it for. All the logistics and the technicalities of it, like, for me, are kind of like, personally not as important, especially when you have young kids, because they're not even gonna even be able to absorb all that information.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? They just recently changed.
It just so happened that the holidays is when most people are off.
Right.
That's when you can get together.
That's a part of it, though.
Yeah, I get it.
Set up that way.
I get it. Like with Christopher Columbus, they changed it to Indigenous Day recently. Like, that this was the first year they had
But
it.
some people don't even get that day off. Like this year, I didn't get that day off.
I did though. I wasn't gonna lie. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just, you know what I'm saying? Like, just feel like, you know what I'm saying? It has to, just kind
they
of,
made us go to work.
gotta be, something just to, just celebrate the.
So
the
let me ask you this. Not to harp on it, but let me ask you this. What's wrong with getting together June 17th?
Say it again?
And y'all, what's
19th?
No, it's like I'm just picking a random day.
Oh, okay.
Even like July 30th,
like,
right? What's wrong with y'all family saying, hey, every year on July 30th, we're gonna get together?
Well,
It's called family reunions.
No, but I'm saying, like,
you're saying every year tradition. I guess
it's
I'm saying,
like like Christmas.
I don't.
Christmas is like and to your point with the kids, I told my kids earlier, ain't no Santa Claus.
I get what you're saying, but that means you have to like plan to take off But when your job is giving you those days off,
I don't care about getting those days.
I guess more.
But that's me. That's just that's why I say it's
like more so. What I'm saying is just like, I mean, like, look, we have holidays all through the year where family get together. You know what I'm saying? Labor Day, July 4th, Memorial Day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Mother's Day, Father's Day, Christmas, Thanksgiving. Like we have all these things. You know what I'm saying? Like whether you get a bunch of hot and readies and watch the football games, or you
cook a big meal,
or you cook a big meal. Like the point is, you know what I'm saying? Like my family, for example, like we get together. You know what I'm saying? Like we have all the traditional feasty foods like turkey, ham, all that stuff. Right. But after that, we get down and play games and be competitive, post talking shit, like be on my team for taboo. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what we try. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? We there for that.
Dice game?
That we don't play dice. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like we just be there for that. You know what I'm saying? That love and embrace of the family. You know what I'm saying? Like I think the tradition is what you make. I told my mom this. I don't know why it didn't hit me till last year when I was 36. I said, but Christmas and Thanksgiving are like 3-4 weeks apart. We typically in my family anyway eat the same menu for both. I said, Mama, listen,
we do.
Let's go ahead and do this. Just do this menu for Thanksgiving, but Christmas let's do some tacos or some shit, wings or some shit. Let's do something different. Right. You know what I'm saying? Create our own tradition because like I ain't trying to eat all the same shit. You know what I'm saying? 4 weeks. It'd be good that first day. You know how much food you get wasted because you don't eat leftovers one more day. You know what I'm saying? 2 at the most. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's it. So I just feel like you create your own tradition, but the whole point of it is just really getting together, family. Like you know what I'm saying? Like embracing your loved ones because, and I agree, you can do that on a random day, but like I guess what Blue was trying to say is like most of the country we live in has the same schedule. So if I know I have one brother living in Minnesota and one living in Richmond, Virginia, and I know that I'm going to be off for Christmas break, and chances are their businesses will be closed for Christmas break as well. Mm-hmm. Well, it makes sense for us all to get together during that time.
Because some businesses won't let you have time off. They won't give it to you. You never know, even if you try to plan
I agree with everything y'all saying. I just know it was set up that way.
Yeah.
We got to play within the boundaries of our what we
and then like at
some point
the traditions is what makes it different.
At some point you were in agreement with this.
Yeah.
Traditions. Like,
I mean, of course, everybody is. That's why it's tradition. And then when I popped out, and my mom is, in my opinion, one of the realest people I've ever known. Even besides just being a mom, I didn't do Christmas when I was little either, because she said I'm not giving credit to somebody else for giving. I worked hard to give you this stuff.
Yeah.
So, but not even that. What bothered me the most was when I was a Christian, I celebrated these days. And then when I read about them, it's actual days in the Bible that we supposed to. The Feast of Tabernacles, the Sabbath day, the high holy, all the high holy days. Those are days that when you celebrate those days, God says he rejoices because those are the days I gave you. Then you start, like I say, I did the origins of stuff. Like we all know the origins of Thanksgiving, right? Like nobody should want to celebrate Thanksgiving.
That's what I'm saying. Are we celebrating like?
I mean, because that's why I said the origin.
Right.
So it's like, yeah. So on this day, 3,000. Let's say, because let's just put black people in there. 3,000 black people got hung on this day, like let's say Tulsa, Oklahoma, or something like that, right? 3,000 people got hung on this day. This day is a day of mourning. Like it shouldn't be celebrated, but we're turning it into a celebration.
Make money off of it.
And make money off of it.
So here's the thing, right? So this is why I guess and maybe I'm wrong. My way of thinking is different. Clearly, I just feel like sometimes as humans, just in general, we overthink things. For example, you might have a Christian woman and man right now, parents who have 3 children who say, "We are Christians. We're bona fide Christians. We don't believe in Halloween, costumes, trick or treat, candy, whatever. We don't believe in it." But then your same 3 children, their favorite restaurant might be the Magic Time Machine. It's the same shit. You're just getting food. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Every person there wearing a costume. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're literally like, it's to me, it's the same. I get what you're saying. You know what I'm saying?
So when Christmas time come around, what do you say? Get into the Christmas what?
Spirit. But I guess
what's the spirit?
But kids,
the spirit?
But kids, in my opinion, like, I think
they're pure.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm going to say. Like, I think what we do is as parents and adults, we like, if we imagine our children as VCRs, old school VCRs, Like we fast
record
forward
everything.
time. Like you know what I'm saying? It's okay for a child to have innocence and not and just be, you know, raw. You know what I'm saying? Like what's wrong, in my opinion, what's wrong with a kid with all his other peers at 5, 6, 7 years old believing in Santa Claus? Like, do you understand like the child's psychological, like, f up of not knowing why my mom told me Santa Claus ain't real, but everybody else in this class of 27 thinks he is. So now I'm having to battle with this every single day. You know what I'm saying?
That would mean everybody else's parent is a liar.
Right, but what I'm trying to say, I guess, is like,
I mean, they're gonna feel left out.
I believe
everybody
like
else gonna be like, oh, I can't wait to, X, Y, and Z.
I believe in letting kids be kids. We want our children to be virgins until they get married. We hope for that. You know what I'm saying?
At least my daughter.
Let them receive their innocence. You know what I'm saying? Like, have their innocence as long as possible.
So ain't a part of that giving them the truth?
We make that circumstantial though. You know what I'm saying? Like we I think a lot of people use things for what is convenient for them. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm saying we make things like, so we use it when it's convenient. Like, okay, so like wait till you married to have sex. Why? Well, because that's what you're supposed to do. Don't fornicate. Yeah, whatever you tell them.
Yeah.
But then like we might go off on a whole different tangent or belief this way because it's a lot to uncover. And of course, having like religious talks and stuff is like it's very whatever. But I guess whatever toots anybody's horn, you know what I'm saying, do that. But I just feel like for me, like like I don't know, whatever opportunity I can use to celebrate my family, I'll be totally transparent and vulnerable. Like I haven't always been the biggest family man. You know what I'm saying? Like
I'm huge.
It took some deaths in my family, and it took some situations happening in society for me to be like, you know what, let me be a little different towards my family. Because honestly, like I had a different mindset. Like after my divorce, like literally I have a lot of family here. This is honest God truth. When I first split from my ex-wife, my own mama and all my family here, I didn't see none of them or talk to any of them for almost a year. Because a lot of shit happened with my divorce, and I ain't gonna get into, but like I kind of like basically said to hell with all y'all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I didn't even care. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the thing with me. Like that's why it's always a dangerous slope messing with me, because like my cutoff game is the Hulk. If I cut you off, I don't care who you are, you cut off. You know what I'm saying? Like, because my peace is important.
Right.
Ain't gonna let nobody mess with my peace. So for me, like once I did that and I saw how it affected my mother and my sister and my grandmother and whoever else was bothered by it, like I didn't care when I wasn't around them, but when I seen them finally 8 months later and saw how it affected them, like it made me be like, man, like what if I would have died or something would have happened to them and I would live with that guilt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it made me look at things differently. And that's why I said with holidays, I use it as like being able to just embrace them and just have a couple laughs, you know what I'm saying, enjoy the time, and then we depart for a time being again. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I'm big with family. And with me believing what I believe, it sucks because my family all gets together and I'm not there. But that's one of my truths that I'm willing to stand on and suffer those consequences. Because I mean, ultimately, if I really want to see my family, no matter what job I'm working, I'm taking off.
Do they still get you gifts?
No. It's when I first got it, when I first started, yeah, people will still do stuff for me. And I tell them like, hey man, I appreciate it, but I don't celebrate this. And over the years, it kind of be like, even my wife, like she was hurt because she was big with getting together with family. Right. So now my wife lost her mom and her dad. So now it's gonna be really different. So my choice is, am I willing to stand my truth, or up and be like, all right, I'll get to Thanksgiving and Christmas for y'all because I know this is a time for y'all, to grieve and stuff like that. But then, what would Christ do? Will he sacrifice his truth to appease you? Because we're supposed to be Christ-like, right? That's my dilemma. So when the only argument or backflash that I have when I see people that say they love God and they're Christians and stuff like that, but then they do everything that's opposite of what he's telling you to do, that's where my questions come in at. So it's all about dialogue too, because Like the stuff that I just said, D. Jones said, I didn't know about that. You know what I'm saying? But if I don't say it, he might not run across nobody else in the rest of his life that's gonna say that. So now, not to say that you're gonna do it, but he might actually look into it. That's how most people. When I told my mom that, she started looking into it, and then she started calling me. Hey, I just read that so and so and so and so. And then we're in the age of information right now, so it's a lot of stuff. I mean, you can get on Instagram and stuff like that. That's cool, or you can research some shit. You can.
My last thing I'll say about it is this: I love having conversations like this because this is why I like doing podcasts, because it allows you to be in a room with people who have different opinions and perspectives and just kind of like have a conversation.
Yeah.
Which is what it's all about, which I think is dope.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I will say this too, like I think it's very important that everybody respects everybody's, perspective. I remember one time, I ain't gonna say his name because everybody in this room know him, but I was on my show, and I was saying a prayer at the end of the show. And the dude like literally responded at the end. He was like, "Man, that was a long prayer. Like, come on, man, that was too long." And took everything not the backhand. You know what I'm saying? But like, and the idea was just like, man, like the disrespect. Like, just you may not like the long prayer, but just shut up, say amen, and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. Just like
that actually happened at our live podcast too.
For real?
If you don't remember,
when I was praying, I do remember. I will say this.
Yeah,
I remember when I was praying.
Which event?
I think the last one y'all had.
I wasn't there. The grown and sexy one.
No, it was the time before. You was there. You was there. It was the one that he was there.
I remember the one for the grown and sexy. I will say this though. Last time I did the grown and sexy one. You know what I'm saying? We posted dress up. I did. But anyway,
I think you was.
Yeah, it might have been the only one. But anyway, so like,
no, you wasn't. You and your co-host were the only one.
Yeah,
and me.
Brian wasn't dressed up. Anyway,
he wasn't. I thought he was.
I was thugged up. Anyway, I'll say this.
And some of the members of Boys Rappers did, but
Tyrese.
Yeah, Chief Suits didn't get that memo.
He was baby boy.
Chief Suits did not get that memo, man. IQ came looking like I don't know.
I would say this though, when I was praying at that event though, I remember like I started praying and folks in the background were talking. And me just being me. I said, hey, real quick.
Being the teacher in you,
I need
your
this
teacher
being
voice.
Me. You know what I'm saying?
But your teacher voice came out.
To get quiet while I'm praying. Thank you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I think I'm really good at commanding the room. So like they shut up and let me finish this prayer. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I say. I think it's
it's respect.
It is.
Never, no matter what, if you're a Muslim or Buddhist or whatever like that, if you're in your time of prayer or meditation or whatever like that, that's to me that's respect. It is. Even if we believe in two different things, I'm not gonna disrespect what you believe in on that level. I might question little things that you do, which is good for dialogue, like he said. That's the beauty of podcasting. Is we got different opinions with everybody, but when he's praying, it's respect. Like if you don't like it, you watch the show, you know he's gonna pray. Mm-hmm. Excuse yourself if it's that bad.
It's like talking to someone when they're saying grace.
Right.
Saying, I'm praying over this chicken.
No, I hate that. Yeah, so if you don't know, like basically what he said, he commended the room, and the other one you was there.
I remember that one. I remember that. I was standing.
He commended the room.
I gave him the mic.
And I was standing next to the person, so we ain't gonna name no names. But he commended the room. He had to get quiet. And then after the show, they made a comment talking about I didn't like the fact that he tried to talk to us like I'm one of his students. I'm not a student.
You act like one.
I didn't like that fact first. It's like then now everybody's not Christian. Everybody don't want to pray. We don't want to pray. If you don't want to pray, then leave.
Well, I mean that's what I'm saying though, right? So like, what do you? So I heard somebody right here that said, Chris, he said we have to respect people who don't believe as well. I totally understand that. But if you're in a room with
people that believe,
perfect example. At school, when they say the Pledge of Allegiance, most schools say a moment of silence for whatever reason.
Right.
Most people, whether you believe it or not, shut up and just be quiet.
Exactly.
So during a prayer time, anybody who's praying or saying a message of that magnitude on stage, like just be quiet and listen. And when they get done, then talk. I mean, we're not keeping you for 45 minutes. As that person said, their little prayer and be done. Like I think it's disrespectful to be. Whether I'm saying a prayer or not, if I have a microphone in front of my mouth and I'm talking, like everybody in the room should respect that person holding the mic.
Exactly.
Yeah, what Chris say, I agree, but it's a two-way street. So even if I'll respect that you don't believe, but if you're on my platform, you gotta respect that.
You come to my house, you respect it. Also, you notice how
if you go to your house and you don't take your shoes off, that's perfectly fine.
Right.
If you come to my house, if you go past the living room, you gotta take your shoes off.
By the way, you notice the person that told you, The person said whatever they said to you, Blue.
We was in my office.
Oh,
yeah, we was in the office. Yeah, but the person said whatever they said. I wasn't there. They said to me.
Oh,
exactly.
okay.
So whoever was, I don't give a damn who it was at this point. But they ain't said to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the thing is too, like that shows their immaturity. We felt like I was talking to my students. Like, listen.
Right, you don't have to pray along, just respect the mom.
Yeah, exactly.
You said so I put pause.
So we can talk about this topic. Another topic.
Chris, we just want some shea butter and some oil, man.
We can talk about this topic for hours as well. This is another one. But before we go, we do want to give a quick shout out to all the other podcasters doing that thing in the city. If you do not know, now you know.
Do we?
Yeah, if this mic can talk, is another podcast in the city. Chief Suits. Even though
they'll be on Sunday.
I tried to get on their podcast. Apparently, they don't let people on their podcast.
Me not Q low key beefing. He knows why. This is a deep beef. We know why. And then shout out to Inglorious Rappers as well. Make sure you check them out. They drop a new episode every Tuesday now, I think. And then Chief Suits is every Monday. Then Mickey Street, Urban Street, you can catch them out. We'll be on there November 28th. Also, you three will be on there November 28th. So a double feature for me because I know I do it a lot.
Oh, and my son wanted me to do this. So.
Hold on, we're gonna let you do it when you give your thank yous. Calm down. Hold on.
No, you be trying to end.
Maybe.
What? What did Jones say?
You think you wanted this?
Let the man what? Lead.
Yeah, this ain't your platform.
This is our platform. My name is on the paperwork. Yeah.
Look. Look at
they out there.
So we're gonna let you do that, but we want to shout out to the other podcasters doing that thing. At this Mic and Talk, like I said, Wednesdays, Sundays, catch them. Radioactive Wednesdays only on Sundays.
I think Sundays now.
Not on Sundays. The schedule changes.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
We trying to figure that out. I want to say Wednesdays you can catch also. No, not Wednesdays. Tuesdays you can catch not the same. Yeah. Yes, it is.
Oh, is she agreeing with her? Or?
Yeah, I think she's agreeing with her. So Tuesdays you can catch this podcast out of St. Louis called Not the Same Podcast. They do religion, sports, and other topics as well. Then they also have not the Same Bible Study. So go ahead and check that out if you want a religious podcast. That's a dope podcast based out of St. Louis. Another one that I follow. FOH stands for F Out of Here. They have a couple productions. They do FOH After Dark, which is a sex podcast. They also have True Sessions and FOH Productions. They came out with a movie called Unexpected. And they're coming out with one now called My Ex Is My Next. So go ahead and check that out.
My next?
Yes. So go ahead and check that out. And any artists who want to get your music out there, make sure you send your music to them so you can get your music in there.
You have an ex I would go back to?
Shut up, please.
You have an ex that would go back to?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it ended mutually. It wasn't like a bad breakup.
D. John, he said once it's over, it's over.
It's over.
Mama told me not to go backwards.
Always go forward.
Can't see the blessings in front of you looking behind you.
That's true too.
Run
She can see the blessings in front of her looking behind her.
Run right by it.
Who?
She can see the blessings in front of her looking behind her.
Anyways, do you have any thank you, shout out, give it, anything you want to mention?
Yeah, man. So I just want to shout out to first I want to shout out to God again. Always forget the gap. Just being able to do what I love to do. I could pod every single day. Thank y'all, Blue and D, even T1, just for allowing me to be, like I said, at y'all's table, put here, have a plate, just be a part of y'all's production. I think y'all doing great work over here. Great conversation pieces. Keep grinding, keep pushing. You know what I'm saying? Sky's the limit. And it may be even beyond that. But definitely, shout out to everybody out there with a dream, making it reality. I always say this on our show, like the word dream is associated with being asleep. So wake up and make whatever you have, in mind, make it a reality. The prime example, Chris, you've been here commenting all night with his beard oil. Like,
right,
that's a dream that he made into reality. You know what I'm saying? So.
And he has a podcast too as well.
He's a podcast too. The Lost Ones, right? Yeah, the Lost Ones.
Yes.
So,
my bad, Chris.
His is very deep
on your oils and stuff.
Conversation like this, but I also wanted to talk about how to throw a little plug.
Yeah, go for it, man.
And Chris did mention earlier that he said y'all making us bring his mics out.
Y'all make me take the mics out.
Have us on the show.
Do your thing. Take the mics out, please. But just one thing I will say about this is we actually manifested this because I remember we met the gentleman Archie Jenkins. who's owner and CEO of 180 Life Enterprise magazine. I remember when I first met him. Actually, the way it worked was somebody in Austin, Texas. He was at an event in Austin. I guess the person in Austin was listening to our podcast, consistently. Told him about us, and we just happened to be Facebook friends, but didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
And he reached out to me, and I remember meeting him. I said to him, man, one day we're gonna be on your cover of your magazine. And he was like, we'll see. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, you know what I'm saying? It happened.
You made it.
We're trying to get our sound effects up, so bear with us.
All good. Definitely a blessing. You know, so I got the hard copy here. I actually met up with him earlier before I came up here.
They're actually brothers in real life.
Had like a 3 or 4 or 5 page write up in there, a whole bunch of pictures of us in there. Really, really dope. But what I wanted to say, when I met him earlier to get the magazines, I told him, I said, I said, when I want to, order some more, do with these that we bought, you're going to autograph them and give them to who we want people to have them.
Okay.
But I said, I'm going to order more. And he said, come order through me. But he also told me that he said the online orders for this particular, I don't know if it's a nice looking photo on the front or what, but he said the online order has been crazy for this issue as well. So,
okay. That's what's up.
So I'm saying, just really blessed, man, just to, being able to, experience this. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I had some definitely amazing, full flowing tears when I seen myself on a magazine cover. Like that's amazing when it said magazine. You know what I'm saying? It's a magazine cover. You know what I'm saying? So truly blessed, but
a lot of people can't say that on the front of it.
No. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You're about to be on your second cover, when we do the podcast issue.
I feel that. You know what I'm saying? Exactly.
Well, he can't get a cover. He got one already. They're going to have to be on the second page.
The magazine name is the magazine name
haters.
is 180 Life Enterprise. It's an Enterprise magazine. So I do have a link if you want to order a copy.
Exactly.
I'll definitely send it to Blue and she can.
And it's crazy because he hit me up during our podcast.
Yeah, he actually sent me guys information. So.
Thank you. Look, that's what I'm talking about. That's how you connect and plug. Because some people like to keep stuff for themselves.
I wish
but people who promote. Is it okay if I open this up so they can?
Right.
Ooh, look! I just happened to turn it to the page of these chocolate men. Look at these. If you can see this in the camera, look at these chocolate men. They're young.
I can't see it.
They're successful, and they're doing big things. They have their own businesses at that. B Ken got his.
Chris, he said he
got his trucking business. So they have their own businesses, teachers, educators, raising kids.
You're a way to copy the link and paste it. I sent you your phone. You can put it on here. And I can email it to you.
You can type it in, right?
Mm-hmm. I can type it in.
It's a lot of type.
So I can copy and paste it onto home line.
Okay.
Through the phone.
But yeah.
What was the other one y'all was in?
The same one.
The same one.
We've been in the magazine like
inside.
3 or 4 times inside, but
because I got the other one at the house.
I'm just trying to show you some. Yeah, I have the other one as well. I'm trying to show you some stuff
cover,
right here. So
that's what's up.
Yeah.
I can lie.
Y'all deserve it too, man. Like I always tell me and Blue and Travis always agree that besides our podcast, y'all will probably be our favorite podcast.
Yeah, man.
Like just to listen to and interact because. Y'all got a type of podcast that I can turn on while I'm driving, and I can interact with y'all. Like it's not a hassle. Right. You know what I'm saying? With multiple choice and stuff like that.
Man, my favorite episode of English Rappers was with you guys.
No, it's funny because
y'all killed that episode.
Mo said that same thing, and then also we're gonna have Cheap Suits on our show Sunday, and what's the guy? It was Cheap Suits, right?
Oh man. Yeah.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
I thought I was saying it wrong, but
they're
gonna be on the show Sunday.
IQ
is like
Nasty Nas.
IQ said, hey
Star.
man, he said, be careful what you wish for. We a wild bunch, and my response was, so are we.
Yeah.
So,
no, that's gonna be a good episode. Because they was on ours, and it
I'm still waiting, to be WCW, but it's okay. They get it. They get with the program.
But congratulations on that, man. That's big. I think. That's actually setting the bar. We all should strive to, even if it's not a cover of a magazine, to strive to be something that, I think y'all probably be the first podcast on a cover of a magazine in San Antonio, at least. I know, Yeah,
we weren't even voted number 1. Anyway.
That's what's up, man. Should y'all have got number 1? Should y'all have got number 1?
No, there you go. Now, there you go. Listen, I would say this. This is no slugs to anybody else. I'll just say this: we weren't on the ballot, so
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But,
I didn't even know about it.
I didn't either, but no hate to nobody else. I mean,
No.
I went through all that podcast beat last year. I ain't doing it no more. I got time, but
Exactly.
Yeah, it was interesting.
you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
it is what it is. But yeah, man. You know, I guess I want everybody to win. You know what I'm saying? Like my mindset, honestly, is like, you know, get to the top because I'm gonna be there. So
right.
when I get up there, hopefully I see you there. If not, you know, hopefully you're on your way. You know what I'm saying? GPS, you know, reroute, whatever, get there.
Exactly.
But you know, I was truly blessed. I'm saying, shout out to my daughter Lyric. Shout out to all the educators out there, counselors, postal workers, everybody in the community doing a great thing, and just, you know, just keep grinding, man. I mean, these times that you saw this morning, that we talked about earlier, alluded to earlier, like times right now in society, especially for Black culture, is not the most positive thing. And so, you know, it starts with yourself. You know what I'm saying? You can be that change you want to see, and if everybody has that same mindset, it can be great. So that's my thoughts.
That's what's up.
I like that.
Did you ever tell us a truth that you would stand on? You never said it.
No, I said I haven't thought about one.
Oh my God. Get it
We
together.
went there. Go ahead. Give me a thank you.
You said come back to you.
No, I didn't say come back.
Me and D Jones did 4 truths.
For truth.
Right.
And I
Peace.
agree. I agree with all y'all. Go ahead.
So man, shout out to you know, my team, the Way You Ask podcast. Shout out to my beautiful wife, you know, holding me down when I was down, face down on the grind, not the ass up though. But special shout out to my kids,
That's your
Deshaun and
H-Town
Trinity.
bar.
Deshaun and Trinity. They specifically wanted me to tell y'all that they're in art club and a music club, and they're going to be traveling to Austin and Colorado and all these stuff, performing and stuff. So they really wanted me to make sure that y'all knew this. So I got pulled to the side, kind of cornered by my son. You know, he was like, "Hey man, I need you to mention my name on your podcast." So they probably sleep right now. So I'm gonna have Blue clip this so they can show their friends. They swear they YouTube stars, and they ain't even got a YouTube channel. But I also shout out to my mom and my sister, and shout out to KG and Flu, man. They helped me out with my Live at 5. They was a big part of my Live at 5. I got multiple interviews with them. Some of them didn't even, you know, I didn't even put out. You know. Blue is too busy to do interviews. She know where I live.
I'm beefing with KJ and Flu too.
But yeah, man.
Beef is will.
Shout out to the Most High, man, for giving me I would say another change of life, because I could have been going a couple of times for me recalling. So I believe, you know, I'm walking in some of my purpose, but I believe that it's more to come. So stay tuned. Shout out to Chuck Taylor, man. Y'all go ahead and give me that endorsement deal. I'll let you play.
Another podcast I want to give a shout out to before I give out my shout out is Sam Live at 5 and Sam Pluto show. Make sure you go ahead and check that out.
Oh, Mickey Sweet and Cheryl.
We said that.
Did you?
Yeah, Urban Sweet.
Oh. Okay.
Cause we said we're gonna be on that show.
You're right. I'm used to saying their names individually.
I want to give a shout out to my team, the Way You Ask team, Live at 5, T1, myself. You know, I like the fact that I have a team that if something happens where I can't make it, they know how to step up. It's hard to find great people like that. Give a shout out to our guest for tonight, D Jones. Thank you for being on our show. It's always a pleasure to have you,
You know what I'm saying?
especially since you like to talk and not just sit there.
Where can they get a shirt from? You know, we got these. You know, we got these empty.
Be a guest on the show.
I like this. I like this the fit of this t-shirt.
How do you get a shirt? Be a guest on the show. How do you be a guest on the show? Inbox him and ask him. How do you be a good guest on the show? Don't do nothing stupid.
Well, I say this too. You know, with that being said, because you do it out there. If you want to be a guest on the show, hit me up for sure. We take all, you know, people on the show. Every guest on our show, we also have 4 sponsors, not flexing. We have 4 sponsors. Right. One of our sponsors, part of the agreement we have with him, is every guest gets a free T-shirt. So like upon booking you for a show, I'll send you a bunch of information. You know, a snack questionnaire. I'll also get your shirt size so I can make sure I have the shirt for you when you come to the studio. But if you just want to order a shirt or a hoodie, because it's getting a little cooler outside,
right?
You can definitely reach out to our sponsor, Already Apparel, or just reach out to us and I can get you over to him and you can order it and all that good stuff. So
I need a hoodie. Yes, sir. I definitely need a hoodie. It's hoodie season.
Yeah, I
want to give a shout out to my U3 team. You know, without them, I couldn't do it. Shout out to Happy, who helps me with my magazine. Hypnotic, the DJ, who goes live Mondays, Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Central Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. So make sure you go ahead and check that out. We're playing that underground indie music that you love to hear. Shout out to the Most High, who helps me make it through the day. Shout out to, like you said, all educators and anybody who's doing anything in the industry field. It takes a hard job to do that. Any podcasters out there doing that thing, shout out to you guys. There's a lot of podcasters I follow. So if I don't call your name, charge it to my mind, not my heart, like Winging It. You can catch that every Wednesday night. If you like to eat hot wings and dope conversations, that's the best thing.
There's a podcast that eat wings?
Yeah. It's called Winging It.
Here?
Live on, not here. They're East Coast.
Oh, well, clarify. I'm about to say
East Coast. Based off of Overtime Hustling.
Overtime Hustling. What is it called? Mukbang?
My favorite food is wings. That's why I was like, where are they at?
Yeah. And then also, so Wednesdays is Winging It late night because they're East Coast. Fridays is Turf Tales, and then Sundays is reactions, where they react to fighting videos, but not like the hood fighting videos, like boxing, wrestling, professional fighting videos. So check that out, Overtime Hustling. They also have a magazine as well. Yeah. And shout out to all our listeners. We cannot do this without you. All our Where You Askers, I guess that's the new name for it. Shout out to you guys. We love you guys. We love the fact that you communicate with us. You talk. You're not just quiet. You're willing to have a conversation with us. Shout out to all my haters, out there. IQ.
I don't even think I have haters.
Mo Benji. No, not Mo Benji. IQ, Flu, KG, No, they're not haters. I love you guys, I love you guys. You got to have those people that motivate you to do better. And I feel like IQ and F This Mic Could Talk are the ones that motivate me to do better. But y'all motivate me because y'all give me advice. They motivate me because I just see their work. And I'm just like, man, I got to step my game up because, they got it on point. So you guys, and
T1, man.
Yes, T1, our coach could make it, and his wife Brittany. Guys, we love you guys. And if you ever need a DJ, that's what I do on the side. Private parties, birthday parties, any kind of
notary.
Notary.
At me or Blue for the notary.
We're both mobile notaries. You need flyers. CD covers, cartoons. I'm your girl. I do all that. Hit me up.
Videography, behind the scenes, we're doing video, family events. You want get it recorded, photographs.
Need a verse? Don't hit me up. Don't hit him up. Don't hit him up either.
I might dish you on your song, but hit me up.
Don't hit him up either. He ain't good at it. But you already know.
Appreciate y'all. Everybody that tuned in too. Is that Jaleesa? Is that how you say that? That's right. Right.
Jaleesa.
Arnita. Chris,
Mickey,
Travis
tuned in for a little bit.
Shout out to
I was just thinking about that. It was another
Vanessa. Shout out to Vanessa.
Somebody else that was in Darnell.
Ashley.
All y'all that tuned in tonight, man. Appreciate y'all.
For sure.
Appreciate everybody that commented and interacted with us, man. That's what we'd be looking for. That helps the conversation go. Actually, when y'all comment, that pushes the conversation further because y'all make us, talk about it a little deeper, especially with what y'all comment. So on top of what we talking about already, when y'all comment, that makes us, go a little further and actually dig deep because, podcasting is therapeutic in my opinion. So you just never know what kind of show you're gonna get unless you interact. You can bring something out, and we might find something out new about each other that we might not know and we never thought about expressing, but by you dropping that comment, it might actually bring it out. So
that is true.
I think this is our longest episode.
It really is because the conversation was good. Well, before we go, I like to ask, if you don't mind, D, I'm gonna ask Mr. D Jones if you want to lead us out.
I got you.
I always gotta ask you to do that. Help us through the
night. For sure. Wouldn't be myself if I didn't do it. Let's go ahead and get it. Dear Heavenly Father, we come right now for prayer. We ask that you please, first and foremost, forgive us for all of our sins, ones known and unknown, past, present, and the future. Father God, right now, as we get ready to leave this room, we ask that you please allow everybody in this room safe travels to their destination, over the highways and byways, without any hurt, harm, danger, interruption, or distractions. Father God, we thank you so much for just blessing us, for keeping us from all danger, seen and unseen, known and unknown. Right now, Father God, we ask you please continue to bless Blue, whatever she has going on in her life, with her being an educator, an entrepreneur, a podcaster, any other door and avenue that is open in front of her. We ask you please allow her the confidence and the ability to run through those doors swiftly, quickly, and with her head up high to receive the blessings you have ordained for her, Father God. Make her prepared to receive all blessings that you have ordained for her. Same thing with D, Father God. Bless him as a husband, as a father, as a working man, as a provider for his family. Allow whatever you blessings you have for him, Father God, to be received by him with confidence, to be obtained by him with courage, and to allow him to continue to hone in on being the best version of himself each day out. In his absence, with T1 as well, Father God, aka Dial Up, as I call him, as you please continue to bless him and his wife. As they go through this season that they're going through, bless their children, Father God, bless their family, allow them to continue to flourish as well. With myself and BK and everybody around me, Father God, continue to keep us as individuals, but also as a unit, Father God. Allow us to continue to grow and just be the best version of ourselves as well. We appreciate you for all the many blessings coming our way. Thank you for the magazine and other doors opened up for us. And last but not least, as always, Father God, continue to keep our friends, family, loved ones, children, even our enemies, near and far away, and ones known and unknown, covered in your blood. In your mighty name we pray,
amen. Amen. This is you go, DJ Baby Blue Diamond.
It's your boy D. Oh, my mic ain't even on. It's your boy D, aka Mr. Live at 5 himself.
It's your fella.
It's your fella.
It's your
T1.
And this is the Where You Ask podcast, and we're out.